I just noticed that myself. Real internet problems at the moment up here. If we have to drop the interview, we can drop the interview and play it later at the other end. Just yeah, ABL, so that you can do the scores and all that sort of stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Blue Sox Stadium, proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. We're broadcasting live on Blue Sox TV from Blacktown International Sports Park on this Sunday, the 8th of December 2019. It's Ladies' Day at the ballpark today. Good afternoon, I'm Amy Collins, and along with Big Cam Hickson and Paul Harrodine, the Blue Crew. We are the Blue Crew, and we are all ready to go for what promises to be a terrific afternoon between visiting premiers, the Brisbane Bandits, and the Sydney Blue Sox. Over to Harrow for the weather and ground conditions.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. Much appreciated there. It's fantastic to be here, and welcome, Blue Crew, and of course Sports Broadcasting Australia bringing this, and today being Ladies' Day, Amy got the rights to open the show for us. Fantastic work, Amy. And she's done a great job through these two series that we broadcast back-to-back. Weather conditions, meanwhile, a very cloudy day. The bushfire smoke is not here today, so very clear conditions except for that overlying crowd, which makes it a very good afternoon for baseball. The high fly balls may be a bit tricky with low cloud cover, but it is very clear vision. The breeze is medium to light blowing left to right, from left field to right field across the diamond. Right field fence could be in danger this afternoon, I fear, from a lot of the batters that are in these lineups, because some of these guys like to turn on a ball there for sure. So there we go. The kids are going out now with their Sydney Blue Sox players, and very, very good conditions for baseball. And now we'll get into the preview with Big Cam.
Yeah, thanks, Harrow. Thanks, Amy. Been a wonderful weekend of baseball out here at Blacktown. We've seen 3 cracking games of baseball, all pitcher-dominated. Game 1, it was the Blue Sox on the back of a blinder thrown by L.A. Mestri. He got them to the over the line 1-0. Rick Teasley for the Bandits threw a blinder as well, couldn't get them home. Game 2 yesterday, the first of the doubleheader. Corey Taylor was unstoppable, sitting down 16 in order to start the game to basically set it up for the Brisbane Bandits. They got away with that 1-0. Game 3, it came around. It was an arm wrestle. Tim Atherton was dealing on the mound for the Bandits, but the Blue Sox finally got to him in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that was enough. The 3-1 lead that the Bandits had evaporated, and Boss Moanaroa was the man to hit the Sydney Blue Sox home to a 5-3 victory over the Bandits. So 2-1, it stands at the moment. The Blue Sox over the Bandits, as we'll go down quickly to get the Australian national anthem.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of our wonderful country, Australia, coming to you straight from the field here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where the Blue Crew are broadcasting from the skybox at the top of the stadium. Good crowd in for a Sunday afternoon at the moment. Yeah, not half full yet, but I'm sure it will get that way. We'd love you to get involved in our broadcast as well. If you're fine with that, then you can send us an SMS or get us on Twitter, are the best 2 ways to get a shout out. And the Twitter handle, I should say, is at Blue Sox TV. Very simple, at Blue Sox TV for Twitter. And on SMS through your mobile phone, contact 0412 203 068. That's 0412 203 068. We'd love to engage the audience and have you guys communicating with us about your views on the game, your plan for who you think's going to win and which players you're supporting.
And to that, Harrow, I will try to keep a little bit of an eye on the YouTube chatter as well today. We'll try and get that third medium up and running as well, just to engage the fans a little bit more. But just for everyone that's tuned in, you will see the Blue Sox wearing their Ladies' Day jerseys, the dark blue with the pink piping and numbers lettering on the front. All of the jumpers you see out there, the jerseys out there today, are for auction after the game. So jump onto sydneybluesox.com.au probably tomorrow around about lunchtime. But all of these jerseys will be up for auction, with the proceeds going to the McGrath Foundation. So we are raising money for breast cancer awareness, more breast cancer nurses through the McGrath Foundation. So all of these jerseys, if you have a favourite player, jump on about tomorrow lunchtime. The auction, I think, is going for 7 days if the information we were provided with is correct.
And we will bring you the defensive lineup for the Sydney Blue Sox very shortly. But right now we're going to hand over to Amy for the first pitch on this Ladies' Day.
On the hill for the Sydney Blue Sox, we have Ryan Zimmerman, and he's throwing to Jack Murphy. Stepping into the box is Andrew Campbell for the Bandits. First pitch comes down, and it is high and outside.
Anti-climax there, Amy. Thought you were going to get a beautiful down-the-tube strike to start things off.
Oh, well, we can only hope, but hey.
Ryan not coming to the party for us, unfortunately, as the second pitch. That's the one you wanted. It was cut straight at Andy Burns, the second baseman, for the easy out for the Blue Sox.
That's all right. We'll still take a second pitch ground ball for the first out of the game.
So 1 up, 1 down. The Brisbane Bandits here in the top of the first innings. The game just getting underway. The defensive lineup for the Blue Sox is in right field, Michael Campbell. Holding down centre field, Michael Krause. In left field, Connor Michael McDonald. Of course, we've got to have Michaels in the outfield. They're all there. At third base, Jacob Eunice. The shortstop, Gift and Gopay. Second base, the other half of the pivots, Andy Burns. And at first base, Boss Moen Aroa. And the starting battery, as we heard from Amy, is Jack Murphy behind the plate and Ryan Zimmerman on the hill.
As we said, Ryan Zimmerman, a very famous name in baseball, but not that Ryan Zimmerman, the other Ryan Zimmerman. Of course, followers of Major League Baseball will know that there is a Ryan Zimmerman that plays for the Washington Nationals. And not this Ryan Zimmerman. This Ryan Zimmerman was with the St. Paul Saints in AA independent ball last year, a teammate of Todd Van Steensel's. And Todd suggested he came out here as this one's lifted into centre field. Michael Krause should be all over it, and is. And takes the catch comfortably in centre field. 2 up, 2 down for the Blue Sox. And was part of the championship winning team at St. Paul Saints with Todd Van Steensel in this last independent league season in America. A right-handed pitcher. And warming up as Tim Colwell steps into the batter's box for the Bandits. It has been a pitching-dominated weekend so far. I don't expect anything to change with Zimmerman and Blackley on the mounds for their respective teams. Travis Blackley, as everyone knows, had a major league career, is one of the better pitchers to have ever come out of this country. And he will be looking to get up there and guide the Brisbane Bandits to a series split. Curveball. Nice curveball from Zimmerman. Swung on and missed by Colwell to fall behind 0-2. So Zimmerman trying to get a nice, economical, easy inning here to start the first. Now I've said this. Watch Colwell line this into left. He doesn't. He lines it straight back at Zimmerman. Little comebacker. The underhand toss to Boss Moen Aroa. And the Blue Sox will make a 1-2-3 inning to start things off here in the top of the first inning. So 0-0, the Blue Sox and the Bandits through the first half of the inning. And just a nice change for the Blue Sox. We did do a little bit of an interview with Boss Moen Aroa before the game. We'll play that at the end, just to highlight some of the heroics Boss got up to last night. A little bit more about the jerseys. There are ladies' jerseys available for sale out here at Blue Sox Stadium. There are a limited number. They are selling fast. If there are any left over, they will be put on the website for sale, but we're not expecting them to last very long at all. I think there was only about 50 or 60, and we're expecting them to walk out the door quick smart. There are Ladies' Days hats. They're also available on the website and at the merchandise store. And again, all proceeds of the Women's Days jerseys and hats. Profits, of course, going to the McGrath Foundation to raise breast cancer awareness and nurses for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've funded over the years since it's been established. They've funded, I think, about 100 specialised nurses,
full-time,
if not 200
full-time care nurses.
nursing in that area of health. Now to the outfield, the defensive lineup for the Brisbane Bandits this afternoon in this Game 4 of the series. And, of course, Sydney are chasing the series. If they can get this one, they will get the series from the Brisbane Bandits. In right field for the Bandits, it's Donald Lutz. Centre field, Andrew Campbell. In left field, Tim Colwell. The third baseman this afternoon is Mitch Nilsson. Shortstop, as usual, Logan Wade. The ever-reliable Wade Dutton is at second base. David Sutherland holds first base down, and the starting battery for the Brisbane Bandits on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. Behind the plate, Ryan Battaglia, and on the mound, Travis Blackley. Ready for the action to get underway here. Blue Sox stepping in. They'll lead off with Trent D'Antonio.
Yeah, Trent D'Antonio to lead things off for the Sydney Blue Sox, the heart and soul of this ball club. Been here since day one, has Trent. Leads the club from the front. Really is one of the clubhouse leaders and has been for some time at this ballpark.
And we point out the clubhouse leaders because that's an integral part of any team where you've got the experienced guys that can just bring the younger players in, the players who have only been in a short time, and the visitors from overseas, of course, and get them all to blend together and have a bit of fun around their game.
Often seen as a very serious baseball player. He loves his baseball, takes it very seriously, but he is a very light-hearted character when you get to know him, get behind the scenes a little bit. He's a true character, a true veteran, a true workhorse of Australian baseball.
Yeah, knows his trade all right, that's for sure.
Another one of these semi-professional baseball players. And you hear that Bosmo and Aroa interview. He used to travel from Newcastle to Canberra to play for the Cavalry, just to get there to play some baseball. And now a little bit closer to home, Newcastle to Blacktown is a little bit better for him. As Blackley fires, D'Antonio hits it hard to right field. It's going back to the warning track, is it? Yes, Lutz will just wait there, though. Again, the breeze blowing in from right field. Going to make it very difficult to hit the ball out in that direction today. And D'Antonio hit it straight into the teeth of the breeze. And Lutz was able to settle under it and take the catch.
Gee, it's tough with the wind blowing that way. D'Antonio has, although he's been out several times, he's hit the ball very, very hard. Just can't find the gaps.
And that's the cruel thing about baseball sometimes. You can hit it really, really well and go out.
Just goes in the book as a fly ball somewhere.
Absolutely.
Eunice right on the money there. That ball fouled off directly behind home plate. There's a couple of degrees in that being a safe hit to the centre or somewhere in the outfield as opposed to behind the plate.
Well, if anyone was due to be Jacob, he's 0 for 11 in this series this weekend. He was 8 for 11 in the series last weekend, so a massive difference. But as we have said, it has been a very pitcher-dominated weekend. There have been some quality outings on the mound all around this weekend. You'd hesitate to say if these pitchers that threw this weekend keep that form up throughout the season. Here's teams 1 and 2 in the North East Division quite comfortably.
Yeah, the way they worked. And they are traditional rivals, you might say.
You look, Corey Taylor was fantastic. Rick Teasley on Friday night for the Bandits was fantastic, even though he goes away with a loss. Swing and a miss from Eunice. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Atherton was great last night till he got a little bit tired going into that 7th inning. The Blue Sox started to get to him. Dave Nielsen reacted. Unfortunately for the Bandits, it was the wrong choice. Ryan Bollinger came onto the mound and got lit up.
Sydney was certainly on the back foot, no doubt.
Blackley to the outside edge. Just misses. He thought he had it. The head goes up in the air. He thought that was strike 3. Can't believe he didn't get it. He just wanders around the mound.
Close, but not close enough. I think he snuck around the zone.
I think he might have been suggesting that was a strike last night, Harrow. Not today. So Blackley settles down again. Ready for a 2-2 pitch. On its way. That is low and inside, and that will fill the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away here in the bottom of the first. No score on the board. The Bandits and the Blue Sox. The Sunday afternoon matinee.
Great name for the Brisbane catcher, Ryan Battaglia. If we emphasise the bat. Ryan Battaglia, the stallion.
So Blackley ready for a full count pitch. Eunice waits. Here's the pitch. It is on the outside edge. Eunice turns around. Yeah, that's exactly what Jacob Eunice says. He said, if you'd have called it last time, I wouldn't have argued. I'd be in the dugout by now, but you didn't call it last time. You called it this time. What's going on?
I reckon it was an identical pitch.
It's a KC.
And I don't usually say that, but you know, I'll defend umpires till the end of the
look, I'm okay. I'm okay with it being called
close.
strike 3 because I thought the previous one was
Yeah.
a strike. So either way, I'm okay that Jacob Eunice goes down on strikes.
He'll be fine when he comes back again.
I think Blackley was a little bit, am I going to get that call or not? This one hit hard, but straight at Dutton. He ranges across nicely, and the first pitch Andy Burden sees, he goes down, and the Blue Sox are done here in the bottom of the first. They are retired in order, 1, 2, 3. We are through 1 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium. It is the Blue Sox and the Bandits locked at zeros.
Are you struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And back here at Blue Sox Stadium, where you're listening to the Blue Crew from Sports Broadcasting Australia. Looking at the league tables at the moment across Australia, Melbourne Aces, this is the Southwest Division. Melbourne Aces leading that, .67, 678 percentage. Perth Heat on 660, 643, the Adelaide Giants. So very close among those three. Geelong Korea bringing out the tail there on 357. And in the Northeast Division, we've got the Blue Sox on 482, Brisbane Bandits 572. And then trailing them, Canberra Cavalry 393, Auckland Tuatara on 214. Of course, Auckland and Cavalry playing this series this weekend. Brisbane and Sydney playing right here in front of us this afternoon. A tight series. Canberra will be getting stronger. They've got a few players coming in from overseas. I believe a couple of Japanese players still to come into their roster who are yet to be released and sent over. So as soon as they arrive, Canberra will automatically build in strength, and they'll probably build in strength just before Sydney meet them is the expectation. So that will be tough. It's all tough. It's a very close
Always
league.
seems to be the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. ABL, very tough baseball league. We'll bring you around the ground scores shortly, just so that we can keep you up to date with what's happening over the games this weekend.
First pitch of the top of the second inning from Ryan Zimmerman. This is high, one ball, facing Mitch Nielsen, who hits this one hard to right field, but it's into the teeth of that breeze. It's just going to knock it straight down into the glove of Michael Campbell. A well-hit ball from Mitch Nielsen, but into the teeth of the breeze yet again. And this place is often described as the place home runs go to die, and that's another example of a ball that may well have been out of another ballpark. Here at Blacktown, it's just a long fly ball that doesn't quite even make the warning track.
That breeze is just blowing straight in from that direction too, so it's just, going to be very hard to get the ball out of that side of the field today.
Only place you may hit a home run today might be over the left field wall. If you can start it at about the 45-degree mark and just let it ride back and tail around on the breeze, you might be able to put it out over left field. But the wind pretty much blowing directly in from right field today.
Yeah, absolutely changed since I called it at the start of the broadcast. It was crosswind earlier, and it's turned straight around to the south.
Isn't that the east?
No, that's the east. That's the south. Do you know which way the home plate faces? South-southeast.
Thought Eastern Road ran north-south.
Or is it southeast-east?
Either way. 2 balls and a strike, as this one is hit hard but foul down the first base line, out of play. Count to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Donald Lutz.
I know where the beach is, Cam. I can smell the salt air. It's over there.
That would be the northern beaches.
The viewers can't say. Well, yeah. Well, are there any others?
Yeah, plenty. 2-2 pitch, fouled off at the plate by Donald Lutz. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good afternoon if you've chosen to join us. Blue Sox TV here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Come say hello, SMS, Twitter, or on the YouTube live chat. We're trying to monitor all of those live. Nice fastball by Zimmerman on the outside edge. Lutz just doing enough to get a piece. Blue Sox not back at home until after Christmas. The 27th, the next home game for the Blue Sox against the Perth Heat. Lutz again just fouls off another nice pitch from Zimmerman on that outside edge. So plenty of time if you're sitting at home wondering what you're going to do between Christmas and New Year. There are 4 games of baseball out here at Blacktown. The Perth Heat and the Sydney Blue Sox. Jump online, get your tickets, get them early. Get yourself out here to a cracking game of baseball. Lutz swings through a curveball from Zimmerman. Nice change up. He went fastball on the outside edge. Then came with the curveball low and inside. Lutz thought it might have been hanging, went after it, swung through it. Zimmerman gets the strikeout on Lutz.
A really solid start here by Zimmerman. He's looking on top of his game and troubling the Bandits batters so far.
This one is popped up out of play, coming back here on the grandstand. Might land on the roof on top of us. Yes, it is. And that one will dribble down and probably end up on the end of the merchandise van, where you can pick up all your wonderful Blue Sox gear when you come out here to the stadium. Of course, members get a discount. Say hello to Shirley, who looks after the merch tent, or more of a van these days, isn't it? A merch demountable here at Blue Sox Stadium. Shirley will certainly look after you down there. As I said, Blue Sox members do get a discount.
And it's air-conditioned.
Yep, make sure you bring your membership card down with you and get that discount. All sorts of things down there, Harrow, this year. We've got rugs, we've got cowbells, we've got Jack Murphy, Gift and a Go Pay bobbleheads.
Yes, the bobbleheads are freshly released this weekend.
Correct.
And they will sell out early as well. Limited numbers. Get in there and get them.
We've got actual bats and batting gloves. You name it. We've just about got it in the merch shop this year.
Just having a chuckle about those bobbleheads. They're pretty fancy. Put one of them on your dashboard, you'd make a lot of friends.
I'll tell you what, you could almost mistake the Jack Murphy one for the Jesus one.
Oh,
the Jesus
no.
bobblehead. They're very similar. This one hit hard at third base. Eunice stays down. A nice play from Eunice. Comes up, firing it across. And Zimmerman has retired 6 in order as the Bandits go down in order again here in the top of the second. And halfway through 2-0, the Blue Sox and the Bandits.
Now, not to mention in the, we forgot to mention in the merchandise tent, there are all of the Women's Day jerseys and hats available to where the profits go to the McGrath Foundation and help support those breast cancer nurses, as today is Ladies' Day, as we have said.
And they do look so good. Last Ladies' Day, I think they were bright pink jerseys.
These are the all pink ones that I happen to have on.
Blue lettering in 2 tones. This year it's
not
the
that
blue,
helps you guys see, but
blue jersey with the pink lettering and outlines and everything this time.
I think they look wonderful. They're a
Basically,
really nice jersey.
The very colours of Middy's Data and Electrical. Who
Very
are
true.
electrical wholesalers for Data and Electrical Wholesalers Middy's. And that's the colour scheme on the Blue Sox shirts, and they look absolutely sensational.
Just a quick shout out to Link and Diego. They're tuned in to the YouTube feed, watching along. G'day, guys. Great to have you aboard.
And in the range of caps downstairs, Cam, in the merchandise, I believe they've got camouflage caps down there, but I haven't seen them.
I haven't seen them, and they would be hard to spot, that's for sure, but I'm sure there is a great range.
I know
as
it's
well.
a Sunday fun day, but really, Harrow.
We've got the same train of thought, Amy.
It's a joke that never dies. I like that one.
That's why I don't wear camouflage shorts.
Oh, dear, Harrow.
Have you
Enough.
recovered yet, Cam? I'll get the oxygen.
Enough.
Shout out to all the Brisbane Bandits supporters out there that, of course, couldn't travel to Sydney due to distance, of course. But those that are tuned in, welcome to the broadcast again this afternoon. And if you're there, let us know. SMS 0412 203 068. We had good viewership from Brisbane last night, from Queensland, and the Bandits supporters across Australia.
Boss Moanaroa to lead things off, bottom of the second, last night's hero. At the end of the game, we will play a little bit of an interview while I go down and maybe grab a player or two. We will play that interview with Boss. We were hoping to get it out before the game, but a few little internet glitches out here at Blacktown. So we will get that to you after the game. Moanaroa, big swing. The Bandits playing shift on Moanaroa. Everybody over to the right side of the diamond. See David Sutherland where he would have been last night to maybe have saved a double. Instead, he was playing in his normal position, and Boss gave him no chance whatsoever on a ball that was hit just inside the foul line. Down that first base line, resulted in a stand-up double for Boss, 2 RBIs and the game-winning 2 runs to the Blue Sox.
I really liked Boss's response to when you asked him whether the shift plays a role. I don't want to give away what he said in the interview, but it was a really great response and just shows the style of baseball player that he is.
Correct. Boss's power personified. He has massive tree trunks for legs and uses them to get immense power and torque into that swing of his. Settles down now to face a 2-2 pitch from Travis Blackley. 2-2 is on the outside edge, is it? No, just misses. That's the perfect place to pitch to Boss Moanaroa. It takes a lot of the power away from Boss, and Boss has to go the other way with it, which is something that he has learnt to do well in the latter years, but still not something that he prefers to do. He'd rather take that inside portion, middle of the plate, and belt it hard to right field. But now a full count pitch on its way from Blackley. Swung on, fouled off by Moanaroa. The count will remain full. Nobody out here, bottom of the second. Big hello to David Garcia and Tommy T in the USA, tuned in to watch the Blue Sox. Hello to you all. Thank you for being with us on this Sunday afternoon here in Sydney. I'm presuming it's still Saturday evening over there in the States. Moanaroa waits now. Blackley set. Full count pitch on its way in the dirt. Moanaroa draws a walk. A really nice, patient at-bat from Boss Moanaroa. Good discipline shown, and he becomes the first base runner of the day. He heads up there with the base on balls issued by Blackley, and that will bring Gift Nagope to the plate for the Blue Sox. Has been about the only batter all weekend to actually get anything going. 4 for 6 so far this weekend, where everybody else is talking about numbers that are about 1 for 10, 2 for 10, 3 for 10 is a good number this weekend. Gift with 4 for 6.
With a couple of walks that obviously don't include into
Correct.
those stats.
Into your at-bats, yep. So Nagope set now to face Blackley. Shows bunt. Tries to lay it down. Pops it foul back to the netting. And it gets wedged between the net and the padding. I need the bat boy to come out and grab that one. Yep. Umpire Riley Barrington just telling the bat boy to come and get it. Which he does. Blackley sets again. Moanaroa with no lead at first base, not taking any chances on the wily Custer, the veteran Blackley. This one is low and inside. Did it hit Nagope? No, it didn't. It was well blocked behind the plate by Ryan Battaglia.
Bit of a conversation there with Gift up to first baseman up there, Boss Moanaroa. He's looking at Boss and saying, why aren't you at second base? And Boss is waving back to him.
Because Boss is saying, I don't run like you, Gift.
What are you doing, man? Gift is saying. Funny little interaction there, waving their arms around at each other.
Boss says, I'm a first baseman and you're a shortstop. That's why I'm still here. Blackley set again. The 1-1 pitch swung on by Nagope. Swings all the way around and almost has 2 swings at it. He went so far around.
That one looked like it hurt a little bit.
Yeah, Gift has had problems with a wrist that he injured in game 1. He just jarred his wrist in game 1 and had it iced up. Didn't play in the first of the doubleheader yesterday. He came on as a pinch hitter late in the game in the 6th inning of that 7-inning first of the doubleheader. The bat goes flying, heads up in the dugout down there, the Bandits.
It went into the showers, I think.
He strikes out, but he's ejected his bat. It's gone through the Brisbane Bandits dugout.
Into the dugout, through the change room door.
And across bounced off the physio table and into the clubhouse. And thankfully they were all awake to it. They all saw it coming and got out of the way. Nagope down on strikes.
The Bandits don't want to borrow that bat. They're handing it back to the bat boy. Take that back to the Sydney dugout. We don't want it.
They would have Bo Jacksoned it, wouldn't you? Across your knee. Dave Nielsen's a big, strong man. Give it the old Bo Jackson and hand it back in 2 pieces. Say to Gift, we don't want it over here either.
Nice.
If you don't want it, we don't.
Doesn't work.
Michael Krause to the batter's box now for the Blue Sox. Takes a first pitch, called strike for Travis Blackley. Issued a no-out walk to Boss Moanaroa to lead things off here, bottom of the 2nd inning. Blackley to the plate now, gets a second called strike on Michael Krause. Hasn't had a great weekend in terms of getting those called strikes. He's been okay, all things being equal, Michael Krause. He's 3 for 10, but 6 of those outs have been strikeouts, which is a number that he would like to reduce greatly as the season goes on. This one's a high chopper back up the middle. Shouldn't be too much problems for Logan Wade. He'll just hand it out the back door to Wade Dutton for the second out. They won't have any chance on Krause to turn a double play. It was a slow chopper towards second. And so they will get the force out of Moen Aroa at second base. And Michael Krause will stand aboard first, courtesy of the fielder's choice. So Travis Blackley trying to get out of that lead-off walk. Michael Krause it is at first base now. None of the Blue Sox taking any lead whatsoever on Travis Blackley in these early stages. I understand how good Travis Blackley is, but still you want to be getting him to throw across once in a while, just take some more out of the arm.
He has a very, very good move. I do recall watching a video of him teaching how to pick off successfully. And yeah, so I think that the deception that he provides in his pick-off move really
Just saw a little bit of it then. What he tends to do is he picks that foot up, and on the proviso that he keeps the momentum going and throws the ball either to home plate or first base, he can do that. And he actually moves his foot at about 45 degrees between home plate and first base, which gives him the option to go either way. And the runners sometimes don't have any idea where he's going. He's got a strong enough arm that on that motion, he can go to first base with that throw, or he can come around the body and throw to home plate. So the runners are always guessing where he goes to.
And that's your aim as a left-handed pitcher for sure, to keep your runners as close to the base as you can.
He's got Connor McDonald behind 0-2. Trying to sit the Blue Sox down here in the bottom of the second. Michael Krause took an extra step. Travis Blakely had a look across. Thought he might have gone to first base. He doesn't. He comes to the plate and misses low. Connor McDonald in at left field today for Alex Howe. So Shane Barclay just giving a few of the players a run. This is a drop third strike, but he gets a very lucky bounce off the back. Padding does Ryan Battaglia. It went all the way to the fence. It kicked off the padding straight back into his bare hand and made the throw to first base a comfortable one. If that sits down against the padding, he has no play whatsoever. So the Bandits get a little bit of a lucky break there, as Connor McDonald will go down on the K2 to 3. That will be the third out here in the second inning for the Blue Sox. So 2 completed and in the books here at Blacktown. And it is the Bandits and the Blue Sox developing into another pitcher's duel, 0-0 as we take a short break.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as Middies in its signature pink colour.
And welcome back to the action at Blue Sox Stadium in this lovely Sunday afternoon in the west of Sydney. It's Ladies' Day with the Blue Sox here from Blacktown International Sports Park, where you're watching bluesox.tv on your YouTube channel. Spread the word. Make sure that everybody knows about this great sport and this competition that's going around Australia, the Australian Baseball League. And we're in series number 3 here in Sydney. And Series 4 next week. Sydney go away for a road trip.
Down the highway, the Remembrance Drive Cup, also sometimes known as the Hume Highway Cup.
That's the one. And visiting Canberra. And that will
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those games.
4 days, 4 games. Correct. Thanks, Cam.
And, pretty sure 7:30 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a 4 p.m. on Sunday. But just check the website of the Canberra Cavalry to make sure of that.
Speaking of Canberra Cavalry, the game between Canberra and Auckland Tuatara looks
done.
As though it is.
So it's only a 7-inning game, so it is done.
Oh, I need a refresh then again. I've only got 5 up here so
far.
far.
Okay, maybe. Hang on.
All done.
I might be on yesterday's.
Let me just double check. No, we're in 7. 4-2.
That's
Auckland
what it looks like.
Over Canberra. 4-2 Auckland over Canberra when we refresh the screen. And, of course, between Perth and Melbourne, that game just getting underway. It's 2-2 after one completed inning. Perth and Melbourne Aces.
It's unusual. That's 2 games in a row that Auckland have beaten the Cavs 4-2. They beat them 4-0 in Game 2, 4-2 in Game 3 and 4-2 in Game 4. So the Tuatara are taking the series away from the Cavalry.
Got a nasty stammer there.
They really like scoring 4 runs, apparently.
Adelaide
Four's
and
enough.
Geelong. Adelaide and Geelong in the second inning, and Adelaide leading Geelong by 1-0. 1-0 Adelaide over Geelong at the moment, but only halfway through the second inning. Here at Sydney, though, it's nothing on the scoreboard as we go to the top of the third inning. David Sutherland at the plate, and the shift on for the Blue Sox in defence. And a big swing and a miss there with an off-speed pitch from Ryan Zimmerman.
A couple of shout-outs on the YouTube chat to Chantel and to Chris from Roseville, California. These are the stomping grounds of Mike Marjama.
High fly ball goes left side off Sutherland, and charging in for that one, Connor McDonald takes a great catch in left field. Charging in, going back on it was Gift and Gopay. It was Eunice that went around to the right side. So Gift goes back on it, called off by McDonald, who's charging into the ball in front of him. So David Sutherland down on a fly ball to the left field. 1 up, 1 down. Hard hit, high fly ball to opposite field by Sutherland that time.
Sure, everyone was a little bit concerned when that ball went up, seeing as there was the shift with Eunice over all the way the other side of the field. But Connor McDonald made some good ground and took that catch.
Certainly did. Had a bit of work to do there, but that will bring to the plate the Brisbane catcher, Ryan Battaglia.
And if you did miss it last night, David Sutherland brought up his 200th RBI in the ABL. Only the third man in the ABL's revamped competition to be able to do so, behind Alan D. San Miguel and Luke Hughes, who both have 206. David Sutherland now sits on 200.
He's in good company, that's for sure, those two guys. Down the third base line, goes through the legs of Jacob Eunice. Didn't glove it. That's very unusual for Jacob Eunice. But Battaglia will stand at first base safely, as that one got through. A little bit of tunnel ball there from Eunice. Very out of character.
And the scorer's wasted no time whacking it up as an error on Jacob Eunice.
Yeah, a third baseman should be taking those in the glove, at least knocking it down. So I really don't know how that got through unless he slipped in the sand. Maybe just a little bit. That's the only thing I can fathom would have happened there. But Bandits have their first runner on for the day in the shape of Battaglia.
It's a DH and it's a Nilsson.
Oh, really?
And it's not Mitch.
And batting from the left-hand side, it is Daniel Nilsson.
And it's not Jacob.
It's Daniel. Let's go with Daniel. The number 2 there, designated hitter, batting in the 9 slot. He's the wiry Daniel Nilsson. So 1 out here in the top of the third inning. Runner on base at first is Battaglia. Nilsson at the plate in the form of Daniel Nilsson.
At least Zimmerman can keep his no-hitter together with the fact that was scored an error on Jacob Eunice.
Still a chance. A lot of baseball left in this though, Cam.
Absolutely. Shh, don't talk about it.
You just did.
Yes. A little bit worried now. It'll be your fault.
Yeah, always my fault.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy to cop it.
Yeah, nicely located, bottom half of the zone, outside edge there from Zimmerman.
Really painting the outside edge well, isn't he?
Jack Murphy setting him up behind the plate, putting the signs down. They're working very well together, as you would expect. Swing and a miss on that one. And he goes down swinging, Daniel Nilsson. That's him. He thought about it for a while, then thought, I better go to the dugout because I've done that 3 times.
Only get 3.
Big K2 swinging strike out there for Nilsson. 2 out now for the Bandits as we head back to the top of their batting order through Andrew Campbell.
That's the old catcher's call, Harrow, when he swings through the third one and turns around and stands there. You say, you only get 3, buddy, maybe next time. You can have 3 more.
See you real soon.
I'm sure that would have made you very well liked.
Well, it was in the era where if they rounded third, they were able to put a shoulder down and go through me at home plate. Unfortunately, those days are long gone.
So payback was...
Payback was often painful.
So Zimmerman and
Even
Campbell.
worse, even worse when you say it to the pitcher, because then you've got to go up and bat in the not too distant future.
Yeah, he'll get you. So Campbell steps out. A little bit of Blacktown blue fly or dust in his eyes. Just clearing that. And Zimmerman ready to go now. Just a 1-1 pitch on that, fouled off.
And just for our viewers that are over there in California from Mike Marjama country, in Roseville, California, Mike not playing after the first part of the doubleheader last night. He fouled one down into the ankle, his left ankle, just above the left ankle, and it really did swell up and bruised up really badly.
High fly ball going deep. Underneath it, Michael Krause floats around, easy as you like. Takes a very high fly ball off the bat of Campbell, and that is a fly ball to centre field. Brings up the third out and shuts down the Bandits in the top of the third innings. So halfway through 3, there is no score on the board between the Bandits and the Blue Sox.
And just to finish that thought, Harrow, Mike Marjama did foul one into his ankle, and he limped around for a few minutes. He tried to run up to first base after he hit the ball, couldn't do it. The Bandits have taken him out of the game, and we haven't seen him for the rest of the weekend. So I will imagine he'll be on ice, and when they go back to Holloway Field next weekend, he will be there ready to go.
Thanks, Cam. He certainly did have the hobbles last night.
Now, Mytronics are Australia's leading printer and copier company. If you need anything related to printers and copiers, speak to the professionals at Mytronics. Mytronics are Australia's largest brand independent office equipment and supply company. They are proud to be wholly Australian owned and operated, and they stock only the best and most famous brands of printers and copiers. They guarantee to beat any valid Australian quote, so you can be sure you are getting the best value and the best service when you buy or lease your chosen products from Mytronics. So jump online and check out the massive range of printers and copiers and all of the services provided at mytronics.com.au. Mytronics are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
And back here at Blue Sox Stadium, there's a big shout out to Wayne. Happy birthday, Wayne, from all of your family watching at home in Newcastle. Wayne, I suspect you're there and you're all having a very good birthday party celebration. All those people in Newcastle. So, Wayne, have a great birthday. Hope we can bring you that little bit of entertainment and keep you in touch with this game between Sydney and Brisbane.
Sorry, Carrot.
Okay.
I was just going to say a few more shout-outs on Twitter. G'day to Leroy and Tadas and David Garcia, all in there having a chat, having a good old time. So great to have all you guys aboard. Love having you aboard here as we bring you a little bit of baseball on a Sunday afternoon from Sydney, Australia.
And leading off bottom of 3, Jack Murphy for the Sox. First pitch from Blackley gets called strike as he paints the outside edge very, very nicely, and well set up by Ryan Battaglia behind the plate.
Instrumental in the comeback last night was Murphy. The Blue Sox were down 3-1. He found a way to get a double to left centre field to tie things up for the Blue Sox. And I do think he bats a little bit better from the right side than the left side, but not that much left-handed pitching here in the Australian Baseball League, so he tends to bat a lot left-handed, does Murphy.
Yep. Gets a little bit of better sight on the ball, I believe, from there, looking over that shoulder. He gets a sight now. Hopper into the glove of Logan Wade. Logan Wade to Sutherland. That's a regulation play for those two guys. Wade to Sutherland, 6-3. Ground ball out at shortstop for Jack Murphy. That brings up the first out on the Sox here in the bottom of 3. We go to batter number 9 for the Sox with his first appearance of the afternoon. Right fielder, Michael Campbell. Shows a clean pair of heels out in right field as he patrols there in the defensive lineup. And facing Blackley for the first time. Well located fastball across the knees, over the plate. That's all you can ask from a pitcher. A good start. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on Campbell. And you see it, goes out to second base. Wade Dutton getting across to that. Doesn't make it. Pops out of the glove of Dave Sutherland.
Wasn't there in time anyway from where I sit, Harrow.
Yeah, got there. So let's see what happens. Maybe I think it will stand as a hard hit ball. There was a lot of coverage for Wade Dutton to do just get the ball and cut it off. So hopefully
Yeah, I would call that a hit, Harrow.
Yeah, me too. Single to 4 for Michael Campbell. That gets another runner on base for the Blue Sox, the second one of the game.
Would be the first hit of the game for the Blue Sox, so we will just have a wait and see. It has gone up as a hit, so will be scored a hit.
Yeah, good, as it should be. So third on base runner. There was a walk for Moen Aroa earlier in the second inning, and then Michael Krause got on as well. Now Michael Campbell provides Sydney with a runner. D'Antonio rips one up the line. Dave Sutherland reaches for that at first base. They turn the double play on the 1-6.
No, the 3 to 6 to 3. The toughest,
3.
toughest double play in the game.
I'm talking about first base, aren't I?
Maybe not so tough when you're as tall as David Sutherland is. That would have been well over a lot of other people's heads, but he managed to get up to it, made a really solid throw to first base and to second base, and then got himself back to first base to get that second out.
Campbell becomes the second out. D'Antonio the third out on that double play, and well executed 3-6-3 as Big Cam called it. So 3 up, 3 down. It goes in the scorebook for the Blue Sox, and will return in the bottom of the fourth through Jacob Eunice. In the meantime, we'll take a short break.
Struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And welcome back to the action here at Blue Sox Stadium. Brisbane and Sydney doing battle here in Game 4. Of course, what's on the table here this afternoon is for Sydney to get the series. They're 2-1 over Brisbane thus far. If they can win this one, they'll take the series over Brisbane 3-1, obviously. Brisbane will be defending that to try and square the series at 2 apiece. So Brisbane on the back foot, if you like, for the series. Sydney in the ascendancy, and they need to lock this one up, and that will creep them further up that standings ladder within the ABL competition.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on that. If Brisbane win it, then they go back level 6-6 with the Blue Sox 6-6 on top of the division. If the Blue Sox can win it, they open up a 2-game gap on top of that division. And going down to the Cavalry, where it is always a battle, but the Cavalry not themselves in the early stages of this season, that is for sure.
Let's go to the top of the fourth inning now through Logan Wade leading off for the Bandits. Back to their pinstripe shirts this afternoon. Hits the first pitch, goes to Gope at shortstop, and it's a regulation ground ball. And Gope to Moen Aroa at first. A 6-3 regulation ground ball brings up the first out. Easy as you like for Gope and the Sydney Blue Sox.
He really does put on a masterclass out there at shortstop, doesn't he? If anyone's looking on what footwork they should be using at shortstop, he makes it look easy and is really smooth through the ball.
And while you mention the footwork, that's the most important aspect of throwing, I guess, really, is if you set your feet right, it makes all the work for your shoulder and arm so much easier.
Absolutely. Helps you transfer all your weight.
Just gets that body in beautiful position, doesn't he? Just gets himself in a beautiful position that the ball just comes straight to his glove. And then, as you said, he's already in position to...
Him.
Little scoreboard bug up there for everybody, all of our viewers, to see what's happening as he gets a ground ball across to second base. Andy Burns to Moen Aroa, and that cleans up and out there. Second out on Tim Colwell. 4-3 play. A couple of infield ground balls back to back.
That was a quality pitch, as you said, Amy. Just took his time to just compose himself before he threw that one. At behind 2-0 in the count, comes up with a routine ground ball, just exactly what he and the Blue Sox needed at that point in time.
No rush play, early days. Mitch Nilsson comes in, playing third base this afternoon, into the game after the first 3 games being the DH. Designated hitter. And now playing third base this afternoon is Mitch Nilsson. Had a fly out to right field in his first appearance. Another lefty though.
The Blue Sox playing that shift again on him with Jacob Eunice playing in a very shallow right field, leaving Gift Ngope to cover the left side of the field.
Oh, strikes him out. Zimmerman sits Nilsson down with a great big swinging strike out of K2. And the Bandits again in the top of 4 go 3 up and 3 down. No runs on the board here between the Blue Sox and the Bandits from Blacktown International Sports Park.
Don't forget, if you do want to be part of the broadcast, we would love to have you with us. You can get us on the SMS 0412 203 068. That number again, 0412 203 068. Or you can send us a tweet at Blue Sox TV. That Twitter handle at Blue Sox TV, all one word. Or, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can just type a message into the live chat, and provided it's broadcastable, we'll say hello and we'll give you a bit of a shout out. So we'd love to have you as part of the broadcast. We're trying to make them a little bit more fun, a little bit more interactive. And that's the aim of us here at Blue Sox TV.
Most definitely is, and Phil down there entertaining all of the kids and having a ball himself. Competition between Comets of the team in blue and
Cardinals,
yellow.
The Hawkesbury Hawks.
That's them.
Holroyd, I think, are out there.
And a whole lot of fun for the kids here at Blue Sox Stadium.
And Phil does a great job getting around with all the kids, keeping the energy up in the ballpark, keeping the fans entertained, throwing water bombs around when it's warm to keep everybody cool and hydrated.
So we go back to the action here on the infield. Travis Blackley, of course, comes back out onto the hill as the sun comes out as well. So the clouds starting to lift and clear.
Shout out to Jonathan Jean Louis. Yeah, we're going all right here in Sydney. It's a lovely Sunday afternoon, end of the week. Hopefully it is nice where you are and you're enjoying yourself as you sit down and watch the Blue Sox and the Bandits game number 4.
You like this one, Jets? Oh, I'll give you that shout out soon. Very funny. Jacob Eunice leading off for the Blue Sox. Hits first pitch, high fly ball though between centre and right field. Underneath it, centre field. Andrew Campbell calls everyone off, and Eunice out on a high fly ball, put it right up into the breeze, and that is an out fly ball to centre field for 1 up, 1 down on the Sox.
Eunice's runabouts continue, unfortunately for him. He's now up to 0 for 13 on the series, so really overdue.
I'll give it to you now. We got the message that says that Oscar lad who is working the switcher is very handsome. The next message from the same sender says it's Oscar. Self-promotion, you got to love it.
How are the cookies, Oscar?
Andy Burns in there for the Sox now. Blackley leaves that one high and probably a bit inside as well. Good vision from our centre field camera over the pitcher's shoulder. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Burns coming up. No result out of that except changes the pitch to a strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Very important for Travis Blackley.
Big hello to Grant Hutchins in LA watching. Picked the Blue Sox because they're vaguely similar to the Dodgers in colour.
We could take that.
We'll take anything we can get, Harrow. We'll take supporters wherever they're from.
If we've got Glenn Long watching this afternoon, he'll give us some feedback on the actual shade of blue that the Dodgers colour blue is, as opposed to the Sydney Blue Sox blue. He knows all the colour schemes.
Our traditional colour for the Blue Sox was what they call Carolina blue.
Oh, yeah, but what's the number?
Oh,
you got to get the die lot, the die number.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's in depth.
Long, you'll tell me very, very soon what the number. It's probably in my phone 100 times already, every time we mention Dodgers. So Burns steps back in. Just goes foul. That one hardly got onto the bat at all. Bounced across the foul line to the left. Battaglia retrieving that one, of course.
David Garcia has asked, is having a centre field camera like ours considered stealing the signs after some of the controversy in the end of the Major League season?
Oh, really? I'm not aware of that one.
Go back and have a look on YouTube. They were banging drums in the dugout to indicate what the signals were coming from a camera in centre field.
Really?
Apparently.
Wow. Hello. We've got visitors in front of the broadcast box.
Always nice to have heads pop
Crowd
up.
indoors. Ground ball across to Wade. Logan Wade across to Sutherland, and they get the out there on the ground ball. Shortstop to first base, a 6-3 play. That's 2 out now. Andy Burns down on the ground ball. Brings to the plate Boss Moanaroa.
Our own version of Dickie Knee there for a moment. Anyone that knows Hey Hey It's Saturday.
That's Brianna J. I wondered where they were sitting. They're right below us, listening to every word.
Mr. Summers.
It's going back a few years.
Yeah, well, we're old.
I suggest before your time.
Yeah.
No, I used to watch Hey Hey Saturday.
They were replays. And stepping up now, Boss Moanaroa. A little slider called strike. Well, fastball on the outside edge. Really cut across, didn't it? Good action from Blackley. So Owen won the count now on Moanaroa. From Newcastle, but played State League with his brother on the Central Coast of New South Wales, a lovely part of the world.
Yeah, a few of them up there now. Boss
Moanaroa's.
Smoko.
Yep.
And the younger one, whose name just escapes me now. He was possibly going to be the best of the lot.
He's still coming, don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah, still only young. I think he's still only 16 or 17.
It'll be a matter of look out when he gets here. A few more messages coming in. We'll get to those shortly, possibly within the break. What a wonderful afternoon it is here. Very clear. The best day we've had as that one misses the zone from Blackley. 2 up, 2 out. The Sydney Blue Sox were in the bottom of the 4th inning here at Blue Sox Stadium. 0-0 on the scoreboard. A lot of zeros. Pretty much duck eggs. A swing and a miss from Moanaroa, and he walks back to the dugout. 3 up, 3 down. The Sydney Blue Sox in the bottom of the 4th innings. No score on the board from either team. It's the Blue Sox and the Bandits, 0-0.
Design Choice brings every space to life with a design solution that is conceptually beautiful, practical, cost-effective and durable, even for the toughest commercial environments. Working with clients in the furniture industry for over 20 years, you can rely on their knowledge and high-quality items. The Design Choice team know that selecting the right pieces of furniture may be the difference between becoming just another restaurant or becoming the new hot spot. To see some of their creative designs, head to designchoice.net.au. Design Choice are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox. A few more shout-outs, Harrow, on the YouTube live feed. A hello to Wolfgang, to Cooper. A couple of anonymous chatters in there. Hello to you too. Wolfgang is saying it's nice to have some baseball for the withdrawal symptoms that people get over the fall and winter. And Cooper from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Very good.
He's playing college baseball at the moment and loves to watch the Aussies on the stream.
And college ball in the US, very high standard. A lot to enjoy about college ball. I've seen quite a lot of it over there. Alabama and Florida. Excellent. High standard ball. Wolfgang sounds like he's from over there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
If not, then he's probably from the Northern Beaches and one of my fans.
No, it says, nice to have baseball here in the US in the fall and winter, so...
There you go. We've got a shout out on the SMS supporting both the Bandits and Connor McDonald today in Brisbane as a Redland Rays baseballer, Nathan Buckby. G'day, Nathan. Yeah, Redland. What a great field there for the Redland Rays. I love that ground. They've got 3 or 4 fields, practice, bat, everything. They've got sheds. They've got all the equipment you could ever want. And it's a fantastic facility put up there by Redlands Council. But Redland Rays, good club to be at. And a number of guys that have moved out of Sydney into the north have played up there for Redlands. Redland Rays. Stepping up for the Bandits and leading off the top of the 5th is Donald Lutz. The man with multiple jersey numbers. 32, 52 and something else. Don't know what that one was. But you can't mistake the figure of Donald Lutz. He's 32 today in the pinstripes.
Both pitchers had thrown 47 pitches through that 4 completed inning.
Exactly the same numbers, Cam.
Correct, from the research department.
Wowee. Sports Broadcasting Australia's research department, we might add. 5, 6, 7, 8 positions we're filling this afternoon at the back of Blue Sox Stadium in the skybox.
Working hard. Or hardly working.
Ground announcer, music man, scoreboard operator, announcers, commentators, video and audio through Oscar and Owen. We're all here. Lucky we're not charging an hourly rate.
Aren't we? What am I doing here? In the double time on a Sunday?
Nah. Cafe hours. Lutz retrieves. Re-steps into the box. I'm leaving it alone now. Lutz faces the next pitch down low and out of the zone.
Lovely
Missing that
pitch
time,
there.
Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amy. You'll have to do a rescue job.
You needed one last night while Cam was headed down to the dugout.
Waffling around. And
Waffling around for seemed like a very long time. You did a great job, though.
Lutz down on strikes with a full count pitch. So 1 up, 1 down. The Bandits. Donald Lutz, the big hitter, goes down swinging with a big K2, and he wanted all of it. He swung hard and fast at that one. Zimmerman got the better of him, though. So Ryan Zimmerman sits him down. And that is, I think, 4 strikeouts through 5 innings now so far for Ryan Zimmerman. Wade Dutton at the plate for the Bandits. Dutton, next pitch for Zimmerman, gets it. It's come back into Zimmerman. He runs it halfway to first, feeds it off to Mo Aroa. They get the out on a 1-3 play on Wade Dutton. So the Bandits go 2 up, 2 down. We're in the top of the 5th inning. And striding to the plate, the tall figure of David Goofy Sutherland. Good afternoon to all the Brisbane viewers up there. I know it's early for you. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
So someone would just be getting home.
Normal time. From what year, Cam? Go on, you guys.
No.
I got to live there. I got to go back home.
You brought that one up.
I'm going home on Monday.
We had the
Or is it Tuesday?
We had the correct last night.
It'll take me 2 days to get there. Sutherland out. Fouls one off down the first base side.
You've got DeLorean set to the right date. just checking if you're trying to get home.
That will attract some comments, I'm sure.
Always does. It's all in good fun.
Dr. Evil. Sutherland steps back in again now, facing the 0-2 pitch from Zimmerman. Pops one up, foul, way down past the beer garden area.
Blue Sox playing shift again against Sutherland.
Very nice area down there for people to sit. A little bit of a breeze blowing. There's a little bit of cover there if they want it. A bar attendant down there with a nice cold fridge. Zimmerman leaving one really wide there on Dave Sutherland. Does not want to go inside because Sutherland has a habit of turning on those and ripping them up to the right field side, even though the shift is on and all the defence are there.
Well, he probably doesn't actually want to throw it too much outside because there's that massive gap.
Yeah,
so
there is.
he probably is actually trying to throw majority of the pitches on the inside to hit to the side of the field.
Where the defence is.
Where the defence is.
Nice
exactly right.
opposite view.
And as a hitter, you must be aware that the shift is on. And as Amy said, if he throws down that outside edge too often, as a hitter, you're going to go, well, you know what? I'm just going to try and get the barrel around on it late. I'm not even going to swing hard, and I'm just going to try and put it somewhere on the left side of the diamond because it's a base hit.
That's it, and they're all good enough hitters to do that. So that's
Sutherland
why.
pops one up on the infield. Can Gopay get to it? I'll tell a man he can. Pop fly to Gift and Gopay, who had a bit of work to do, and he got the afterburners working. And that short infield fly ball to Gift and Gopay means that the Bandits go 3 up and 3 down in the top of the 5th innings. And halfway through 5, it's no score on the board between Brisbane and Sydney.
Lush Greenery is your comprehensive commercial supplier for all your artificial greenery requirements. From concept to completion, they are there every step of the way to help make your garden area or interior area look amazing. Lush Greenery covers your interior and exterior designs from a range of barn doors to green walls, from planter boxes to climbing vines and so much more. To see samples of the spectacular green walls and other things that Lush Greenery offer, head to their website, lushgreenery.com.au. Lush Greenery are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox. Great to have them aboard as always.
And back here at Blue Sox Stadium, thanks Cam for that little live read there. Always entertaining. And Lush Greenery, there we go again. It's a great one to read.
How's your blood sugar, Harrow?
We draw straws to see who's going to read that one. A couple of tongue twisters in there. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here, and the man who got the 3rd out in the top half of the inning on the Bandits will lead off for the Sydney Blue Sox in the form of Gift and Gopay. And he absolutely shows that he loves his baseball. He has lots of fun plying his trade here at Blue Sox Stadium this season. And the Bandits are ready. Blackley finishes his warm-up, has the throw over for Battaglia across to Dutton at second base, and Gopay will appear any moment now to step into the batter's box as he's just holding up a fraction, and they can say the Bandits can just wait until he's ready to go, and he is, the number 28.
Let's hope the Gift keeps the bat in the field this at-bat.
He moseys on up now, yeah, well that bat last time took off. I don't think so. I think he might just use that to hit the ball with.
A little bit of extra pine tar or something on the bat. Not up near the barrel.
It's halfway through the game now. 4.5 innings done. 4.5 to go. Bottom of 5. Shapes to bunt and pulls out of it. Called strike with a pitch through the zone.
It's the second time he's done that this game.
Yeah.
He stayed out in the infield a long time, staring either at Blackley or out towards second base. Did Gift then too.
I don't know if he's trying to just throw people's rhythm out or something. Not sure what that is. But, another one. Missing the zone there. So squares the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm sure he has the chat to nearly every player as he travels around a diamond.
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch from Blackley. Gets that pitch just over the outside edge. Just a pleasure for people to watch games like this and talented players like that with a little bit of character and attitude. Next one, fastball, I think possibly high, Cam.
Yeah, just a fraction high.
Great shot for our viewers there at home plate. And you'll almost be able to call the strikes and balls yourselves from home. The lead-off still at the plate for Sydney. No breakthroughs yet. They came late in the game yesterday for the Sox. Ground ball, hard hit to shortstop. Logan Wade, and the big crowd sighs as that out is given when David Sutherland steps on first with the ball. So the lead off for Sydney, Gift and Gopay the first out. 6-3 is the scorebook entry. Ground ball shortstop across to first base. And that will bring to the plate the centre fielder for the Sydney Blue Sox, Michael Krause.
Good thing David Sutherland is 6'6" because he needed every inch of that plus the stretch to get to the ball. The throw wasn't right on the money, but he was big enough to get across and stretch to get to it.
And he used the base very effectively as well. Instead of
staying on the inside
Instead of
corner,
staying
he
on that inside,
came to the front outside corner.
Yeah, he recognised that ball was over his head, so he jumped over to the other side of the base, giving the base runner still enough of the base to touch, and extended his reach even further.
Just quickly looking at scores between Perth and Melbourne. They've finished 3 innings. It is 3-2 in favour of Perth at this point in time after 3. A pitch from Blackley missing. So Krause at the plate now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Logan Wade deep at shortstop. Pivots both deep. High fly ball heading out to centre field. Andrew Campbell's out there just timing that catch. No problem at all. He only had to move around about 10 feet, 15 feet to get to that one. He had plenty of time as the wind blowing in from there held it right up. So fly ball to centre field. Second out, Michael Krause. 2 up, 2 down. The Blue Sox here in the bottom of 5. And now the left fielder strides to the plate, Connor McDonald. McDonald sets himself up and awaits the pitch from Blackley. McDonald's first appearance, drop third strike. He was out on a 2-3 play as Battaglia retrieved it and got up the line to Sutherland to get the out on the drop third strike. Crowd awaits, called strike as he paints the outside edge. I would say paints the black, but we can't see any black on that home plate.
No, there isn't.
I think it's covered in dirt.
No, there isn't actually too much of an edge on that plate,
okay.
No.
Can nearly appeal that. It comes in a little bit more, makes an adjustment and gets McDonald swinging. So Blackley fights back to go ahead in the count. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McDonald looking to start something off for the Sox. Bottom of 5. Foul tip. Batting in the 7 slot, Connor McDonald. This afternoon and playing left field, position 7. Lots of people in the function room over third base dugout this afternoon at Blue Sox Stadium.
Beautiful place to sit and watch the game. The doors are open.
And swings out of it. Connor McDonald for a third out on the Blue Sox. A big K2 swinging strike. So the Sox again go back-to-back, 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of 5, 3 out. Blue Sox and Brisbane Bandits 0-0.
Struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy are proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And we're back here in the Skybox where you're listening to the Blue Crew, broadcasting for Sports Broadcasting Australia.
Have a look at the line reads at the moment, Harrow. The Brisbane Bandits through 5 completed innings, no runs on no hits with no errors. The Sydney Blue Sox, no runs on 1 hit and 1 error. We said we've seen some pitching this weekend. Wow, haven't we seen some pitching this weekend?
There's the depth of both of these clubs. They could go deep, and they've still got plenty of bullpen left. They've got plenty of guys lining up there, busting to get out there and have a crack at this. And they won't be used. They will not be used. These starting pitchers on every game have done an outstanding job. Teasley on, was it Friday night?
Friday night. Teasley was superb, as was LA Mestri.
Atherton last night for the Bandits as well.
Was still great, as was Dormany. Dormany was good in the second game. Josh Guy, good in the first game, and it was almost lights out for Corey Taylor. He was absolutely sublime. As we said, sat down 16 in order to start the game. 5 1/3 without even looking like giving up a hit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great display of pitching. And the bats that have got the runners have been on base. They've been outstanding to actually get on base in the first place.
You'll see some horrible stats come out of this. Some blokes will end up being like 0-15 or 0-16 for the weekend. Not because they're batting badly, it's because the pitching is just so damn good.
Speaking of pitching, Ryan Zimmerman returns to the hill for his 6th inning of work for Sydney.
Lay down a little running bunt and it'll be enough for a base hit.
Certainly will. And Battaglia is up there. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He's walking back now, just out of shot. I wondered where he disappeared to. I can only see so far around the corner here.
So the Bandits have their first hitter. So Zimmerman's no-hitter is gone on a running bunt, of all things.
Yeah, surprise play. Here's where the managers and coaches start to come into their own. They'll start working something out. We're in the top of the 6th innings, so they want to crack something open and get it to go.
Daniel Nielsen, the DH, into the box for his second at-bat of the afternoon. Called strike will start him off. He thought it might have been a bit low and inside. Just steps out, has a chat with home plate umpire Riley Barrington.
Struck out swinging in the top of the 3rd inning in his first appearance, did Nielsen.
Breaking pitch, possible double play ball. They'll go to Nagope for the first part. He will whip it across, forget about it. Too good, the Blue Sox. A comeback it is Zimmerman. He pivoted around quickly and threw it to Gift Nagope, who was looking after second base. And the silky skills of Nagope across to Moen Aroa. And they'll put the Bandits back down into the lead-off bunt. It falls by the way of a grounded into double play by Daniel Nielsen. And the Bandits lose 2 in the twin killing.
And the numbers were 1-6-3 on that double play.
Really great job by Zimmerman because the umpire was in the way on that play. And so he still managed to get around it and so that Gift could see the ball.
Basically threw it at the umpire who was in line with second base and Gift just ran to the ball.
Yeah, that umpire being Trent Thomas out there at second base. Oh no, it's Bob Crawford. Sorry, Bob Crawford. Interesting watching that reaction. His eyes got big, didn't they? Bob Crawford, he was looking at Zimmerman and went, whoops.
Yeah, where do I go? What do I do? How do I get out of the way?
I wonder if he mumbled, get out of the way.
I thought he might have just hit the deck, gone straight down and kept his eyes on it. This one line driven into centre field. Base hit for Andrew Campbell to centre field. It gets past Michael Krause who slips, and that will give at least 1 extra base, make it 2 extra bases. Campbell round second, goes to third. He's going for the plate. They're going to try to the plate. Nagope to Murphy. They've got him. Toast at the plate.
Wow.
What a throw from Gift Nagope out in shallow centre field to get him at the plate.
We saw him do that the other night, Andrew Campbell, on Friday night. He went all the way around on what we called an in-the-park home run. It wasn't. It was a single and 3 on an error. But he tried it again there. He had the single. Michael Krause went across, put the brakes on, and there was nothing there. He slipped. He went base over apex. The ball went to the wall. It was well handled by Connor McDonald coming around to actually give him some assistance. He dug it out. He threw it to Nagope. Campbell rounded third, and he was not letting up at all. He was asked to hold at third, but he put the foot down and went. And he continued to go. He went for the plate, and it was the throw from Nagope to Murphy that absolutely toasted him by half a yard at the plate.
Might have been part of the plan.
Maybe, but it was also, the ball was handled very well by Murphy. It almost short hopped him, but he managed to get it under control and apply a really good quality tag when Campbell was trying to go around him at home plate.
And the umpiring crew worked around into position as well, as should have happened. Riley Barrington went up to the third base side because the other umpires, one had gone out for the catch, the others were on the infield, and the out was called by the first base umpire, Trent Thomas, standing right over home plate where he should have been.
there are
Great
any
work, umpiring crew.
if there are any wonders as to why, as a left fielder, you need to back up your centre fielder on a regulation single,
Yep,
that
that's
is it. That is it right there. Anything can happen.
Well, as a young baseball player, you're told that every time the ball is hit, something must happen. You must need to go somewhere, whether it's the pitcher going across to back up third on a routine play, coming in behind the catcher to back up the catcher on a routine play. Everybody should be moving somewhere every time something is done, and that's a prime example of exactly why.
What a good display of baseball all round. There's always a winner out of all of that, and it was a great baseball, a fantastic sequence of play for a teaching aid for anybody in the game, including coaches, new coaches, young coaches. We go to the bottom of 6 now, leading off Jack Murphy, the man that got the third out.
And takes a called strike from Travis Blackley. Keep things rolling around nicely.
No bullpen activity for Brisbane at this stage.
There is a little for the Blue Sox.
Yeah, Zimmerman's been through 6 innings.
He had thrown 63 pitches at the end of the previous innings. Travis Blackley was at 60 at the start of this inning. So 63 for Zimmerman at the start of the top of the 6th inning.
So how close the battle is.
And 60 for Blackley coming into the bottom of the 6th inning.
Going pitch for pitch, these guys. Murphy at the plate now. 2-0 the count. 2 balls, no strikes. There is one now.
Went after one he liked then, Jack. Often 2-0 you may be taking, depending on the situation of the game, but not on that occasion. Jack obviously the green light on the 2-0 pitch to go after it.
And Blackley trying to get his account on the board started. So he does now. He gets a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jack Murphy.
Two 2-1 pitch is lifted into right field. The wind will take that into foul territory. We'll end up just on the back of the family hill as a number of young fans go scurrying after the souvenir. Murphy now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blackley just asking for the count. It is 2-2, I do believe. It was 2-0 at one stage. Maybe that's not correct. Maybe it was 1-2. They've changed the scoreboard. Blackley did ask for the count. Won't make any difference as Murphy swings through that breaking pitch from Blackley, and we will go down on strikes. Will Jack?
That was a great pitch from Blackley for the out on there. He had 2. He's in front in the count, and that selection was just perfect between him and Battaglia to put that on. A great out pitch on a swinging Jack Murphy. Michael Campbell, right fielder for the Blue Sox, strides in now to see if he can get something started here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The scoreline is 0-0. Another one of those games. We talked about this contest on Friday before game 1, saying what an arm wrestle it would be, and it's panned out that way all weekend. The Blue Sox bats didn't wake up until late in the game last night, and they were headed by Brisbane right through 6-7 innings. It's a dramatic finish here at Blue Sox Stadium for the Blue Sox.
Can Michael Campbell get something going for the Blue Sox now? He swings at the first pitch he sees from Blackley, comes up empty.
That was his second pitch.
Second pitch, was it? Sorry.
There you go. They've caught up on the scoreboard.
That's the research department sending us messages on pitch counts.
Multitasking. It's good for a man.
Campbell swings through and fouls that one off.
On this ladies' day at Blue Sox Stadium.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Isn't it ladies' day every day? It is at my home.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I wouldn't dare complain.
You get told not to, don't you, Harrow? You always do what you're told. 1-2 pitch on the way, inside corner. It's blocked by Battaglia. He'll make the throw. Oh, he won't make the throw.
Ooh-ah.
The throw will be wild over the head of Sutherland.
Ooh-ah.
Dutton going around the back to clean it up. But a wild throw from Battaglia will allow Michael Campbell on the error.
Campbell wasn't going 100% down the line either. Battaglia had all the time in the world to make that throw, and maybe he actually just got a little bit complacent with it.
He did take his time to get around the ball, get his feet right, and then pick it up. And the throwing area got narrowed the closer Campbell got to first base. And ended up Dave Sutherland had to reach across to the outside of the bag, whereas he should have had it on the inside all along. So the runner at first, Trent D'Antonio, steps in for the Sox.
And the Blue Sox make something happen here with a base runner. D'Antonio chops it foul down the first base side, well handled by Brendan Kingman, the first base coach.
D'Antonio's the threat here for the Brisbane Bandits. One out, one on, bottom of the sixth inning, back to the top of the order.
Would be the perfect time for Trent D'Antonio to show just what he's made of. Rip one into the right field corner, which is his preferred position. Score Michael Campbell from first and give the Blue Sox the lead. And if you're the Bandits fan, you just want him to roll one up the middle into a standard routine ground ball double play, which is what Blackley will be looking for. 0-1 pitch, misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trent D'Antonio. Undoubtedly the spiritual leader of this Sydney Blue Sox team.
And a damn good guy to talk to.
Had his dad throw out the first pitch to him today, which is always nice to see. Blackley takes his time, comes to the plate. That one also misses low. Just a bit of a slump of the shoulders there from Blackley when that one missed.
Yeah, he just ask where it missed. Asked whether it was low. Couldn't have missed by much in that case.
That first pitch routine between Trent and his dad, Cam, was in honour of his mum, Deb. G'day to Deb if you're tuned in.
Blackley over to first base. That one almost getting away. Sutherland handling it. So Michael Campbell back to first base safely. Again, the Blue Sox runners not taking a very big lead on Travis Blackley at all. Respectful of the moves that Travis has. Travis to the plate on this occasion. D'Antonio into centre field. It's going to carry too far though. It's going to carry out to Andrew Campbell.
Wow.
Campbell will make the catch in centre field.
I thought the wind and was hoping the wind might push that one down into fair territory.
Trying to get it to knock it down, but it didn't. It carried.
He just hit it too well, didn't he?
He has been hitting the ball extraordinarily well this weekend. He's just been finding fielders.
So still runner at first, Michael Campbell.
Jacob Eunice to the batter's box to try and snap his run of outs.
Can Eunice keep it alive with a runner at first base for the Sox?
There is some action down in the Bandits bullpen. 2 pitchers are up throwing.
Blackley must be getting close to that 100 pitch mark or thereabouts and getting up and around there. So they said at the start of the innings was only on 60 pitches. Has only thrown to, this will be his 4th batter.
Great location on the last pitch for Blackley. And Eunice now stepping in. And pops it up. Will go foul. The wind will pick that up and blow it over the back of the grandstand.
Eunice getting the signals from Brian Murphy, the third base coach for the Blue Sox.
Count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Riley Barrington, the plate umpire. 2 strikes only is the sign from Barrington. A little bit of tension building here, I think, in this game as we start to enter the back end of it.
Well, there is only a couple of innings to go, Harry. 3 innings to go.
Yeah, the players start to feel it, the crowd start to feel it.
It will be a question of how the bullpens go now. Todd Van Steensel up for the Blue Sox. I can see the Sox from here. I will get the binoculars on in the break to let you know who is doing the warming up for the Bandits.
Blackley with a 1-2 pitch to Eunice.
Runner goes in all sorts of trouble with a good throw from Battaglia. It's not a good throw. It gets out into centre field. It gets through the feet of Dutton. And so Campbell swipes second base, gives Eunice a chance to drive in the opening run of the ball game.
Okay. The game starts to liven just that little. The crowd lifts just a little. Still apprehensive with 2 out here. Runner at second, bottom of the 6th. Jacob Eunice at the plate for the Blue Sox with a count of 2-2.
Campbell's had a lucky run this time round. Dropped third strike with an overthrow there, and then a steal to second, which probably should have been out on. That just got away from the player.
He just got through Dutton, didn't it?
Certainly is.
Baseball has a funny way of turning that around, and those errors tend to hurt you. So fingers crossed, Eunice can come up with a hit here and score Campbell.
Certainly would, and if he can get there and get him to turn the corner, and Eunice does tend to get them through the infield. Let's see if he can do it here. No, he cannot, but he leaves it well enough alone for a ball.
I don't have the Brisbane line up in front of me, but I believe it is Ryan Searle and Justin Erasmus up throwing for the Brisbane Bandits.
We'll get that out for you, Cam. So Blackley has a look over that glove again to get the signs off Ryan Battaglia behind the plate. Eunice waits on the full count pitch. He gets all of it, but it will drift foul. The wind pushing it to the left, way over into the batting cages down the third base side here at Blue Sox Stadium. Batting cages on both sides. The left and right side of the ground, well away from the spectator area.
Just having a look up into the bullpen, it is in fact Sam Holland up throwing, Justin Erasmus up throwing, and Matt Timms up stretching. 3 of them up there and working out. Sam Holland looks the most likely for the Bandits.
Yeah, it must be all stretched up and ready to go. Next pitch comes in, full count again, and walks. Eunice walks. So the Blue Sox on the attack with 2 runners on.
That might be it. Yeah,
Visit to
out
the
comes
mound.
Dave Nielsen. And usually when the boss is headed to the mound, that is all for your starter.
That's certainly what happens. Certainly what happens. He's made the call. And as you said, Cam, there was 3 ready. But the one coming out, I believe, is Sam Holland.
Yeah, it looks like Sam Holland, number 40.
In other games, this game between Melbourne Aces and the Perth Heat. Through 3 innings, the score is a 3-2 in favour of Perth. Let me refresh, just make sure I'm getting the correct data. 3-2.
Yep, midway through the 4th, 3-2 to Perth. Yep.
Yeah. Brisbane and Sydney right in front of course, 0-0. Adelaide Giants and Geelong Korea. Adelaide 2, Geelong 1 after 5 completed.
That's correct.
In the earlier game, Canberra and Auckland Tuatara. The Tuatara defeating Canberra Cavalry by 4 runs to 2.
So a very interesting point of the game now. We saw last night that this was the key point in the game when Atherton came out and Bollinger came in. That was the difference.
Can you remind us how Holland threw on Friday night? What did he do? He did come in a relief role then, but I just can't remember how he went.
That was the...
In the meantime, he's got that sidewinder slinging action of the ball and a little bit different. So batters have to adjust to this after watching Blackley.
Yeah, through 1 innings and through donuts up there. No hits, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Just held the Blue Sox solid after Tousley gave up the 1 run. Sam Holland held them and had a pretty straightforward, I think it was a pretty straightforward 3 up, 3 down inning.
There is still action in the bullpen, so my guess would be that Holland's only coming on for this 3rd out.
Correct.
And then another pitcher will start the next inning.
And we've got a shout out here from the Bandits supporters. Can you give a shout out to my dog Coops? G'day Coops, how are you? Woof woof. And my boyfriend Chris, who are cheering on the Bandits from sunny Brisbane.
I like that the dog came before the boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's
Priority call.
yeah, priorities
Priority
right there.
Woof woof Coops.
That's the old joke. If the dog, the dog's out the back barking and the boyfriend's out the front knocking on the door, which do you open first? The back door, because the dog will always be happy to see you.
Andy Burns swings at the first pitch from Holland. Lovely location for the big swinging right-hander Sam Holland. Burns falls behind, 0-1, one strike on Burns. Gets him going again, he slides that one outside, cutting the front corner, but he gets a big swing out of Burns. Behind 0-2 now. 2 runners on, Eunice at first, Campbell at second. But 2 out here in the bottom of 6. Yeah, leaves that one a little bit further outside, just tempting Burns to take another swing. So can Burns keep this inning alive for the Blue Sox with 2 runners on? Comes back into the zone, does Holland.
Too high.
Burns pops it up, outfield, left side, centre field, left side, taking it, and that was Tim Colwell, who takes that catch in a deep left field side from a hard hit but high fly ball from Andy Burns. Fly ball to position 7, shuts down the attack of the Sydney Blue Sox in the bottom of 6. After 6 innings from Blue Sox Stadium, the score remains 0-0.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as middies in its signature pink colour.
And back here at Blue Sox Stadium, we are headed to the top of the 7th inning. Pitching change on the mound for the Sydney Blue Sox. Replacing Ryan Zimmerman will be TVS Todd Van Steensel. Todd has played the last several seasons over an independent ball. He did reach AAA there for a couple of games. Has spent most of his career in the AA levels. Has played in, I believe, the last 3 AA All-Star games. So is a very accomplished pitcher. Can throw his fastball into the mid-90s, which is always handy. But does have that lovely slider and cutter if required.
And TVS supporting the McGrath Foundation through some bright pink cleats this afternoon as well, supporting Ladies' Day there.
I would not be surprised if they get signed and also put into the auction. He has a habit of liking to do that sort of stuff, Todd. But we will wait and see. Van Steensel himself went 1 inning. In fact, he went 2 innings on Friday night and pitched basically 6 up, 6 down in those 2 innings on Friday night. Again, comes out here on Sunday looking to do that holding role to get through to the closer. In fact, he may well be in line for the win if the Blue Sox can get something going for himself here in the 7th inning, as we are still locked at 0-0 after 6 completed. 2 hits for the Bandits, 1 hit for the Blue Sox. That's how good the pitching has been from Zimmerman and Blackley.
And just what a person to have in your bullpen for this crucial time of the game, which we saw in last night's game, essentially cost the Bandits the game. So to have TVS be able to come out in these late stages and do what he does best, just fantastic for the Sydney Blue Sox.
And I know Tyrell Harris was absolutely champing at the bit after last night's close and save to get an opportunity again this afternoon. He's down there loosening up as well in the bullpen. He'll be looking to come on if the Blue Sox get a lead. This is a comebacker. He's knocked it down, Van Steensel. He's done well in front of his face. He makes the throw across to the Moen Aroa, the first baseman. And he's okay. He got the hand up in front of the face, the glove up in front of the face, and knocked the ball down. Recovered well to get it to Moen Aroa for the out. But for that fleeting second, you had a feeling that the ball was going to get him in the face, and Todd wears glasses whilst he pitches, and if that ball gets through and hits the glasses, anything could have happened. But thankfully, TVS, Todd knocked it down, kept it in front of him, and then made the heads up 1-3 play.
In all honesty, he probably didn't even see the ball. It was just a pure reaction. But thankfully, his reactions were quick enough to get the glove to it.
The medical staff wanted to come out and check him out. He just waved them away. Said, it's okay, I knocked it down with the glove. It didn't get me. And then he comes straight back at Tim Colwell with a called strike. You see that over-exaggerated front elbow that he puts up while he gets the signals from his catcher, Jack Murphy. Then the high leg kick and fires in another fastball, challenges Tim Colwell, who can only foul it back. And if nothing else, that gets the adrenaline going. If it wasn't already going when you get the call to come to the mound, that certainly gets it going.
Absolutely. And to not only to have stopped that ball, but to have recovered and made a good throw. As we know, pitchers throwing to first base is generally the worst performed out in the game of baseball. So
especially when a bit of pressure's put on them, they fumble a ball or something like that, and all of a sudden they panic a little bit.
It's easy to do. I mean, I don't know why. If anything, you should be feeling the pressure when you're standing on top of the mound before every pitch. But I think maybe because pitchers don't do a lot of fielding practice, that might be a reason why sometimes that throw tends to get away.
1-2 pitch from Van Steensel to Colwell on its way. Fastball. It's a hit up the middle. It'll get by Nagope. It'll get out to centre field. And Tim Colwell has himself a base hit. A one-out single to centre field. And the Bandits with the chance now. Runner on first base. Can they make something happen? Their third hit of the game. And a one-out single gives them the opportunity to perhaps take the lead here in the top of the seventh inning. Mitch Nielsen, the third baseman today, steps in batting left-handed. The Blue Sox will not shift on him as much as they have. They have rotated third base and shortstop around a little bit.
It's just a different shift. I mean, obviously they want some more coverage towards first base from their second baseman, which is why Andy Burns is playing quite a bit further back. And as a result, Gift Ngope needs to play closer to the bag to make sure that if there's a possible double play that they have someone there.
It's probably a double play shift, what you would call it, where the second baseman goes around a bit, fills what would be the second base, first base hole. Third base goes into what would be the 5-6 hole, and shortstop goes almost straight behind the bag at second base, so that, as you say, if there's any sort of play of a double play, that he can cover. But Nielsen stands in, showed bunt first pitch and took. Second pitch just misses outside. And Van Steensel now falls behind Mitch Nielsen 2-0. So now some work for Van Steensel, having to come back to the zone. Nielsen, a good hitter. Average was 400 plus coming into this series.
Wow, very impressive.
And Steensel sets to the plate. Takes the pace off it. Here's that double play ball. It'll go to Burns. Burns to Nagope. Nagope back to Moen Aroa. Not in time for the second part, but they will take the lead-off runner, and they will get rid of Tim Colwell for the second out. So nice play that. Almost hit it straight at Andy Burns in that double play shift, and it worked out nicely for the Blue Sox. They get the lead-off, but they don't quite get the double play. That will bring Donald Lutz to the plate. Lutz has had 2 plate appearances so far this afternoon and has gone down swinging on both occasions to Ryan Zimmerman. Slightly different story facing Todd Van Steensel.
See that Andy Burns is still playing in a similar position as is Gift Angope, but Jacob Eunice has come back towards third base by at least a couple of metres to obviously cover that line a little bit more.
They have played shift on Donald Lutz most of the weekend. So again, they're just obviously something in the hitting charts that they've been charting on Donald Lutz says don't go full shift. We don't need it. You only need the one out to get out of this top of the 7th inning. Van Steensel will step off the back of the pitcher's plate. Shakes his legs out. Don't know.
Lutz called time.
Okay, so Van Steensel just reacting to Donald Lutz. I was quickly glancing to the two bullpens to see who was still up. Harris still up throwing for the Blue Sox. Brisbane's pen has quietened down. Van Steensel to Lutz. Lutz with a big swing comes up empty. 0-2 now, Donald Lutz. Certainly not holding anything back on that swing, Donald Lutz. As we said, former major leaguer. And his last club was the Cincinnati Reds. For heading down here to take up some coaching roles and coaching positions as well as playing for the Brisbane Bandits. Faces the 0-2 pitch from Van Steensel, tries to blow it past him. Lutz good enough to get a little bit of bat on it and stay alive. The count will remain. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, a runner on first. No score on the board. We're into the 7th inning here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Really has been one for those that enjoy the pitching this weekend. Total of 10 runs scored over the 4 games to date. That is it. Considering that Geelong Korea and the Giants had 29 scored in one game. Another 0-2 pitch, high and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lutz. Lutz just takes his time, takes his helmet off. We're back to being able to wear the one-eared helmets here in the ABL. We had to have 2-eared helmets for many years. Now we can wear the one-eared helmets again. Lutz settles in, the 1-2 pitch from Van Steensel. Challenged him again, not sure that was all fastball. I think that might have been change-up, and Lutz was just quick enough to get the hands sitting on fastball, quick enough to adjust. The count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is where I'd like to see Van Steensel suck it up and throw the big slider. Try and get it in on the hands, get it in underneath the hands of Donald Lutz. Break it down underneath his hands, but you need to be brave. If you make a mistake with that pitch, you are going to get hurt. You need to be brave. 1-2 pitch on its way. Fastball fouled off by Lutz. So at the moment, Van Steensel just trying to keep it safe and keeping Lutz pretty much fastball change-ups at the moment. Does have a quality slider, Todd Van Steensel. So we all reset again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at first. Van Steensel reaches back. Fastball, Lutz hits it into left field. There's a lot of room out there for Connor McDonald to make. He's not going to get there. Connor McDonald dives, lays out, and that's going to cost them a run. No, it's not. It's going to be a double. It's going to bounce into the bullpen, and that is going to save the Sydney Blue Sox. Connor McDonald laid out to try and catch it. The moment he laid out, he was in all sorts of trouble. He was never going to be able to get back to field it. And luckily for the Sydney Blue Sox, it takes 1 hop, goes into the bullpen, which is a double, which means that the runner at first, Nielsen, must hold at third. Lutz will hold at second, and the Blue Sox dodge a bullet there.
A really great effort by Connor McDonald there. He covered a long distance to try and make a great play on that ball. Luckily, with the way that the ball was spinning, as soon as it bounced and it hit the dirt, it was gone straight into the bullpen. Kick sideways.
So now the Bandits with runners at second and third and 2 out. Wade Dutton 0 for 2 in the batter's box, facing a wild pitch or a pass ball. I guess it depends which side of the plate you're sitting on. They show running bunt. Interesting with 2 out. And a 1-1 count on the hitter to be actually attempting to bunt the ball. Interesting play from Wade Dutton. Falls behind now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But the Bandits in front, 1-0 here in the 7th. That is the breaking news from Blacktown. 1-2 pitch from Van Steensel. It's wafted at by Dutton for strike 3, but the damage has been done. The Bandits are in front. It is time to stretch here at Blacktown, and the Bandits lead the Blue Sox 1-0.
I have a feeling Van Stinsel got hurt on that.
He did. It was a heavy collision at home plate.
He's limping a bit, may have got a cleat to somewhere.
We will take a little bit of a break. We'll listen to the 7th inning stretch and take me out to the ball game. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th just after these sounds of the ballpark. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Boss Moanaroa to lead things off. And the Bandits, they get their run here in the top of the 7th, courtesy of a wild pitch from Todd Van Steensel. So what can the Blue Sox answer with? It's been one of those weekends here in Sydney. One has often been enough. Will it hold up here in Game 4 and allow the Bandits to split the series and head back home to Holloway Park, level with the Blue Sox in this Northeast Division?
Boss needs to have a really patient at-bat here. The worst thing that he can probably do for his team is to get too over-aggressive.
Which he has done there. He's hacked it down the line. Sutherland will need the cover from Sam Holland, and he will get the cover from Sam Holland. And Moanaroa down on the 3-1. Hacking at a 2-0 pitch. It probably should have taken 1 or 2 at that stage and tried to get himself there. He did it in his first at-bat of the day. Was very patient and drew the base on balls. But he obviously got one over the middle part of the plate that he thought he could hit hard to that right side. But with the shift on, Sutherland playing right on the line this time. No way through for that ground ball from Moanaroa.
Yeah, he just missed it, unfortunately.
Gift Nagope, the new batter for the Blue Sox. He takes first pitch inside from Sam Holland. Holland to the plate again. Nagope taking the whole way down. And that's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Gift. 0 for 2 this afternoon, a strikeout and a ground out. Gift waits. He was the catalyst to get things going in Game 1 for the Blue Sox, to give them a little bit of a shot in the first of the doubleheader last night when he came on to pinch hit. Can he get something going for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the 7th? He takes another pitch from Sam Holland, another called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Holland set. 2-2 pitch on its way. It's hit up the middle. No, it's going to be plucked out of the air by Holland. He'll turn and throw to Sutherland. Nice grab off the mound by Sam Holland. Got off the mound really nicely to the third base side, which can often be a little bit difficult for those right-handers that fall that way to then go that way a second time. But he did it very nicely to grab that one. It saved Logan Wade the trouble at shortstop. And the Blue Sox have lost 2 quickly here in the bottom of the 7th.
The last 2 plays 3-1 and then 1-3. Reverse, sharing the workload there, those 2 guys. The rest of the team might come into play shortly. Michael Krause at the plate now for the Sox.
There was a defensive change for Brisbane, which we will get for you guys shortly. Oh, that one, does that hit Krause? Went very close if it didn't. And doesn't look like it got him. So Michael Krause very lucky there. As we see the defensive change for the Bandits is Jeremy Martinez into third base, replacing Mitch Nilsson. This one off the hands of Michael Krause, fouled away back to the net. And Martinez comes in at the start of this innings. We've seen Jeremy play there and behind the dish this weekend. So obviously Dave Nielsen trying to defend this 1-run lead now. This one is high on Krause and inside. The count to 3 balls and 1 strike. There are 2 outs, however, in the bottom of the 7th inning. Michael Krause waits on a 3-1 pitch, takes the whole way down. No intention of going after that 3-1 pitch on this occasion, Michael Krause. A called strike to 3 balls, 2 strikes. So a full count now with 2 out on Michael Krause. Bottom of the 7th, the Blue Sox trail by 1. Full count pitch on its way. A swing and a miss from Krause. He will go down on strikes. Not uncommon this weekend, unfortunately, for Michael Krause. And the Blue Sox retired in order by Sam Holland here in the bottom of the 7th. So we are done through 7 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium. The Bandits, they have the lead. It's taken 7 to split the 2, but the Bandits now lead it 1-0 after 7.
Are you struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And back here. And back at Blue Sox Stadium, there's a change on the mound for the Sydney Blue Sox. Tyrell Harris strides to the mound now, replacing Todd Van Steensel for this top of the 8th inning. Number 41 out there comes in, top of 8. And we said they both got deep bullpens, these clubs. So Harris looking to shut down the Bandits' attack after they got ahead with 1 run there in the top half of the 7th inning.
Harris has done a great job in their 2 outings that he's had so far this series. So I'm sure that he'll be full of confidence and looking to, again, get ahead of the Bandits hitters and really hoping to set them down 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. We're in 7, 8 and 9 in the order.
Has been doing the closing role for Sydney when Sydney have been in front. So interesting to see that he's being used here in the 8th inning when the Blue Sox are behind for a change. So an interesting little role change for Harris.
Look, essentially it's a very similar role. Like, yes, they're now behind, but his role is still to come in and get 3 quick outs.
Correct.
So even though they're behind, that him being able to come in and get those 3 outs might just be that momentum shift that the Blue Sox need for the top of the 9th coming up.
And as Harris said, plenty of arms down there in the bullpen, a couple of young arms that Sydney can go to if they really need to, and a couple more experienced heads, the likes of Vaughan Harris. Luke Wilkins could probably go again. Those guys ready to go should the call go out. Harris ready to go. We just need a batter. It should be David Sutherland. It is David Sutherland. Ryan Battaglia and Daniel Nielsen are the due-ups for the Bandits here in the top of the 8.
Couple of other options there for pitching. Todd Grattan's in there as well. Matt Ray's in there. And,
I don't think Matty's on the list at the moment. I think he got taken out. I think he went onto the disabled list and got taken off the roster.
Yes, okay.
Harrow, I think he's
that's very recent news.
He's a little bit hurt. But certainly, as you say, Grattan, Harris, Wilkins, all there ready to go. Blake Cavill was added to the 40-man roster. He's a development player. He's a pitcher of note.
And
he's coming
Simon
through.
As well.
Brad Simon, we saw throw an inning the other night. Last weekend, threw a really nice inning for the Blue Sox. But Terrell Harris to David Sutherland. He lifts it into right field, but the wind blowing it well foul. It will sail out over the Blue Sox bullpen and out of play. Don't know that it was going to be long enough anyway in the end for where it came down, but it was still well hit, and it was always tailing down the right field side out of play.
He certainly got a fair bit of that ball where, as Blue Sox fans, we're very happy that it went foul.
Takes the next pitch from Harris for a called strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes quickly now to David Sutherland. Number 3 in the all-time ABL RBI list. Harris reaches back the 1-2 pitch. It's a change-up, a little, dinky swing. Sutherland runs well, gets the big legs pumping, and he will beat it out. It was a dinky little try to go the other way with the shift-on swing. All he was trying to do was just put the ball somewhere on the left side of the diamond, which is exactly what he did. Made it a tough play for Gift Nagope, and the big 6'6" legs were pumping for David Sutherland, and in 3 strides he was up there and on first base, beating out an infield single to lead off the 8th.
Massive stride length, you say, Cam. 3 steps. Giant steps.
He's a big man, David.
What is that,
Sutherland.
60 feet?
30 feet per stride. 90 feet to first base.
All right.
Harris to the plate now, breaking pitch on Battaglia, and it's in there for a called strike. That's the one he couldn't get going the other day when he started the game for the Blue Sox last week against Adelaide. He just couldn't get that breaking pitch going, throwing it well there.
We'll note that Jacob Eunice is playing a little bit shallower just in case the bunt is put down.
Battaglia swings through the next one to fall behind 0-2.
And there's no doubt the Bandits will be looking for some insurance. They've got a 1-run lead here. That's nothing in a game this tight and so close, especially after the final innings of last night's game.
They had 2 in the 7th last night, and it wasn't enough. The Blue Sox running them down and putting on 4 runs in the last 2 innings. Harris comes to the plate. It's met hard, but it's hit out to centre field. Krause has a play on it. He's coming around. He won't get it. He'll half volley it.
Wow.
Thought Krause had a read on that, but he didn't get there. I don't know whether Connor McDonald put him off ever so slightly.
It's not Connor McDonald out there.
It's Alex Howe. Yep, well. Alex Howe has gone out there.
He actually didn't take the most efficient route off the bat. He was, instead of going for a straight line to where he thought the ball was going to land, he actually arced it. So I think he lost some ground by not having the most effective route. So obviously the ball was doing something in the air. He thought that the ball was travelling a little bit further than it ended up doing. May have something to do with the wind that we've been discussing.
Surprising for Krause, a very, very proficient centre fielder. So now the Bandits with runners at first and second. Now you would be bunting Daniel Nielsen. Surely you must be bunting him. The Blue Sox play bunt defence. He swings away. You've seen the Blue Sox all rotating around, the corners charging. Gift Nagope heading around to third to look after third base. Andy Burns staying at second for a possible double play.
With none out, the Sox are in a bit of trouble here.
Ideally, you would love a strikeout at the plate. You'd love Terrell to be able to pick one up at the plate for you, and then you could go back into standard double play depth. But they need to defend against the bunt. Terrell spins around, threatens to throw at second base. We saw that last night where the Blue Sox bunt defence went full rotation And then the pitcher spun around and through to second base. Very nearly caught. I think it was Donald Lutz, the runner, on that occasion last night.
Well, that's the purpose of that play. You want it to look exactly the same as the previous play that they ran, so that you can try and get that base runner going, oh, the shortstop's gone. I've got space to take another crow hop.
Yeah, two or three more steps on the... Oh, hang on, he's not pitching. I'm in trouble. Pitch from Harris misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. First and second occupied, nobody out. Top of the 8th inning. This one's a high towering fly ball. It'll be an infield fly if fair. It's not going to be fair, however. It's in foul territory. Eunice is after it, and Eunice will catch it in foul territory. So there's the out the Blue Sox desperately needed. The cheap fly foul, and Harris gets the cheap out that he needed. Eunice with that grab in foul territory. Gift Nagope is just saying to him, I had no idea where it was. I'm glad you got it.
That'll definitely work, and he tracked it all the way to the fence as well.
He certainly looked very comfortable under that, even though, as we saw, the ball was moving in the air. By the time he caught it, he'd actually moved quite a few times to where the ball was moving.
So now the Blue Sox set back to normal double play depth. Jacob Eunice staying ever so slightly shallow at third base. Harris goes for the breaking pitch, this time to Andrew Campbell. Misses up and out. 1 ball and no strikes. This is outside again, falls behind Campbell 2-0. This is dangerous. Campbell, a quality hitter. We saw him drill one to centre field, and his last at bat, it got by Michael Krause. He tried to turn it into an inside the ground home run, which still would have been scored a single and 3 on errors, but it is what it is. He takes a called strike there, does Campbell. Just staying patient, allowing Tyrell Harris to have that one.
Harris is very animated on the mound. There's a lot of pitching coaches who tell you that you shouldn't let anyone see whether you're happy or whether you're angry. But when he gets a strike in there that he wants, he's slapping his glove. He's really excited. And then when he throws a pitch, which he's disappointed with, you know about it. So it's interesting to see the different pitchers and the way that they go about their business.
Nothing wrong with showing a little bit of emotion on the mound as long as you don't get carried away with it. 2-1 pitch on its way. Fastball is ripped into right field. It's hit hard. Campbell comes flying forward. They have been respecting the arm of Michael Campbell, and they do again on this occasion. So Andrew Campbell with a base hit to right field will load them up for the Bandits here in the top of the 8th inning. Only 1 away. Jack Murphy just giving his instructions to his infield.
As we see some action
Josh
starting
Dwyer
to happen.
quickly running up to the pen to try and get some people ready to pass some messages on up to the bullpen of the Blue Sox. It's like a bit like Luke Wilkins up there throwing hard, just looking at the body shapes. But Harris needs to try and dig himself out of a hole. The base is loaded, 1 out. Goes breaking pitch, misses way upstairs and now falls behind Logan Wade. Almost just, and Chris Oxspring out to have a chat. I was just about to say you'd almost put the bunt on Logan Wade, just drag it down the first base line, being a lefty. Get yourself 1 extra run across the plate.
Yes and no. I mean, Sutherland doesn't run particularly well,
good point.
If you had someone a bit more sprightly, maybe on third base, that could be an option. But with the way that Logan Wade's been hitting as well, you would you'd be backing him, even though he hasn't come up with anything today.
And
he's a quality hitter.
Are you really concerned about the insurance run if you're Dave Nielsen with a man like Ryan Searle sitting in your bullpen?
Look, and you're 1 down as well, so you don't want to take the bat out of such a quality hitter's hand by putting on a bunt. So I think that they will let him swing away and play the odds of backing him and letting him go about his business.
With Ryan Searle in the bullpen, of course, Ryan Searle is second on the all-time strikeout list. It's a pretty handy man to be bringing in from the bullpen if you're a Bandits coach. So I think you're right. I think you just swing away here in this situation.
Did I say they're in trouble? I said they're in trouble.
Maybe that's your fault then.
Yeah, it could be the mock.
Oh.
That would be reverse, wouldn't it? That would be the opposite.
Oh, that's a good point.
Say
Very
they're in
good
trouble,
point.
they should come out of trouble.
Depends who you're cheering for.
They still have the ability to roll a double play and get out of here.
And misses again, 3-0. Now in terrible trouble. Terrell Harris has to come to the plate for Logan Wade.
Don't walk a run.
As a manager, do you give him the green light? No. I'm taking all the way if I'm coaching the team. Stick it on your shoulder. He does, and Harris finds the strike zone. Now this becomes a big pitch. 3-1 hitters count. Loaded bases, 1 out. Eunice playing in. Everyone else playing double play depth. 3-1 pitch. Fastball fouled off.
Hallelujah.
Wade went after it. Harris challenged him and put it there.
What an exciting moment on this pitch. This could make a very big difference to the ball game, this pitch.
Payoff pitch from Harris. On its way. Fastball lifted into centre field. It should be good enough for the sack. Krause has to go back. He balances, comes up firing. He will have no play on Sutherland at the plate. And the Bandits, via a sack fly, will double their lead.
Wow, what a massive hit. That's an important hit for Logan Wade. And they get that run across the plate. That is important. That's a little bit of insurance. Makes the Blue Sox need to get that extra run now.
So a nice sack fly from Logan Wade. It was deep enough that Krause had to go round it and then be able to sort of come in firing. Not the sort of arm that's going to throw David Sutherland out from 100-odd metres away from home plate. Tim Colwell just taking his time to get to the batter's box in no rush. So runners at first and second, 2 away, but the lead is doubled. The Bandits now lead at 2-0. A run in the 7th, a run in the 8th. Those 2 runs on 7 hits. Harris's first pitch is a fastball. It's drilled just inside the line. This will score more. Rounding third and heading to the plate will be Battaglia. Right behind him, Andrew Campbell rounds. He's going to try to the plate. Moanaroa doesn't realise, doesn't get it there in time. Add 2 more for the Bandits.
Wow. That is trouble with a capital T. Yeah, a lot of work to do here. The Blue Sox, they might get done. Brisbane might square the series by the look of it. It will be a squared up series. Sydney were looking to take the series here from Brisbane this afternoon, but they've got it all in front of them. All the hard work to do.
Wow, what a piece of running by Andrew Campbell from first all the way around on that ball that just snuck inside the line.
They're not finished yet.
And all the way around to 3, Tim Colwell. How well did he get around there? Lightning like to get himself around to third base.
Martinez at the plate.
This one up the middle. It'll be another run in for the Bandits. Mitch Nielsen. In fact, it's Jeremy Martinez hitting in that hole. Jeremy Martinez with drives in a run. And all of a sudden, in the blink of the eye, it's 5 runs to nothing.
Wowee. So across the plate in this inning, it is Sutherland, Battaglia and Campbell, I believe.
Sutherland, Battaglia, Campbell and Colwell.
And Colwell, yes, add Colwell to that list.
And that is all she wrote for Tyrell Harris.
Wow, that
Not
hurt.
the outing he was looking for, unfortunately.
Absolutely, you know, there's so many things that could be attributing to it. You know, it may have just been that they've already had 2 looks at him this series, and so they might have just been seeing the ball a bit better than they have in the past against him. Maybe slightly tired from having thrown last night.
Couple of innings, yep.
So many variations and so many things, but unfortunately, for Tyrell Harris, not his best day out on the hill, and the Bandits have got a solid lead now.
Ain't over till it's over.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we saw last night, the baseball is a funny game sometimes, and the scores can change very quickly.
So Wilkins going through his warm-up routine as Sydney go to their 4th pitcher. We're still in the top of the 8th inning with 2 out now.
I can tell you at the end of 7 innings in the Adelaide Geelong game, it is 3 runs to 1. They've ended that game, so it's 2-1 Korea leading in the series over Adelaide. (3-1) it is in that game, yep. So 3-1 after 7. Geelong trailing Adelaide. So Luke Wilkins finished with his warm-up pitches. First batter he will face is Donald Lutz. So there's a challenge. Lutz goes after it. He's straight up in the air. Nagope has a read on it. Eunice coming in, but Nagope says, I've got this one. He will take it, and that will be the 3rd out, but not before the damage has been done. The Bandits send 8 to the plate, and they come away with 4 massive runs here in the top of the 8th. And it is going to put all sorts of pressure on the Blue Sox when they come to the plate in the bottom of the 8th.
And now the around the ground scores. Cam just started that off in the earlier game between Auckland and Canberra. Auckland came out victorious there by 4 runs to 2 over the Cavalry. And in the Perth game at present, that is Melbourne Aces and Perth Heat. The score is 3-2. Heading to the 7th inning, 3 to Perth and 2 Melbourne Aces. So 1-run ball game between Perth and Melbourne over there. And we know the score here in Sydney, the Adelaide Giants and Geelong Korea. The score through 7 innings, probably in the 8th it looks like, Adelaide 3 leading Geelong 1. That's the around the grounds update. And of course here in Sydney it is Brisbane 5, Sydney 0 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. So 4 runs scored in the top of the 8th by the Bandits, and a change on the mound. The big form of the number 34 for the Bandits. We all know him, Matt Timms, stands up there on the mound and dominates in a closer role.
Well, they might have brought Ryan Searle back, but they're going with Matt Timms at the moment.
So Timms, he's been warming up for a while. He'll be ready. He's hasn't seen any action this weekend. As fresh as a daisy for this. I'll tell him you said that.
If you wish.
Timms and Searle, they're almost like brothers. The way they work and the job they do at the back end of the Bandits games, they come out with similar results constantly. And the crowd just love it.
Just a reminder to Blue Sox fans, the next home game for the Sydney Blue Sox will be on December the 27th at 7:30 p.m. against the Perth Heat here at Blacktown. So a couple of weeks away for the Blue Sox, away to the Cavalry next week, and then they cross the ditch and go over to Auckland to take on the Tuatara over there in North Harbour Stadium. Then they're home to take on the Perth Heat after the Christmas festivities die down. They were due to play on Boxing Day, however, due to flights and restrictions on flights, etc. Was here in time for that. So we will put that game on the 27th of December. So 28, 29, 30, 27, 28, 29 and 30th for that series. The Blue Sox versus the Perth Heat here at Blacktown. Keep that in mind. Get your tickets nice and early. We are headed to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it will be
Alex Howe,
who came in for Connor McDonald in the last defensive inning, leading things off for the Sox. Pitch is low and inside, gets away from Battaglia. Jack Murphy, the on-deck batter, goes and collects it for the Bat Boys. So the Blue Sox need to find a way to bounce back. Matt Timms misses upstairs and falls behind 2-0 to Howe. The Blue Sox need to stay patient and not panic. That is the key. Tim's third pitch is upstairs as well.
The Sox would dearly love to win this game and take the series off the Bandits, but Bandits in the prime position now just to square it up.
Alex Howe waits on a 3-0 pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. 4 straight, Alex Howe walks.
Great lead-off at-bat there by Alex Howe.
It's what the Blue Sox needed, just to give them any sort of glimpse, a little bit of hope, a little bit of encouragement. If Murphy can find a way to squeeze one through, put 2 runners aboard, all of a sudden maybe the Blue Sox will believe again. Because the air sort of just got sucked out of them on those last couple of runs, didn't it?
I'm sure they still believe. They know how good of a baseball team that they are, but sometimes you just need that one person to step up and get it started. So hopefully for the Blue Sox, that's what Alex Howe was able to do. However, that's now 5 balls in a row, and we've got a pitching visit.
Yeah, Jim Bennett, the long-time pitching coach for the Bandits, going to head out and have a few words to Matt Timms just to see what's going on, just to clear his mind and get him to throw some strikes.
Look, he might be seeing something in his action that he wants to just let him know. Sometimes, some days you feel your action really
maybe not finishing
really
it off
easily.
Completely or something like that, and Jim sees it and says, you really need to get on that left leg more or whatever.
Yeah, and other days you need someone to let you know. So, that may have been just what's happened, or might have just wanted to call time and break things up a little.
Yeah, slow him down. Murphy's 1-0 pitch hit hard, driven, but well foul down the first base line. Just a little bit early on that, Jack. Certainly got plenty of barrel of the bat on the ball, but unfortunately for Jack, he was out in front of it, drilled it out over the family hill down the first base side. That ball disappeared quickly. The count to 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex Howe at first base, nobody out. Bottom of 8th. Murphy tries to go the other way. He's a little bit upset with himself.
On the other hand, Timms has tried inside and outside, and Murphy's met the challenge each time, getting bat to ball. He's just got to drop one fair.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jack Murphy, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Timms to the plate. Murphy goes after it, chops it foul. Well handled by Michael Campbell in the on-deck circle. And Murphy steps back in. The count's still 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Blue Sox deep in trouble. One-two pitch on its way. A little tapper up the first base line. Sutherland will take it himself. He steps on first base. Howe will advance to second. But that won't be enough for the Blue Sox. Murphy down on the putout. Whilst Howe advances, 1 run will not damage the Bandits, who lead at 5-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. Unless the Blue Sox can find a way to get 2 or 3, the Bandits aren't going to be too concerned with a run or 2 crossing the plate here in the 8th.
Exactly right. They need to be stringing, 3 or 4 hits together to be really getting on their nerves or concerning.
If Michael Campbell can find a way to get up there and the Blue Sox go back to the top of their lineup, the top of their lineup is a threatening part of their lineup. D'Antonio, Eunice, Burns, Moe and Aroa. So Michael Campbell just has to stay patient and try and find a way on. But Tim starts him with a nice pitch low in the zone, which Campbell goes after and misses. Timms waits, has a look at second base, has another look at second base. Comes to the plate. Almost looked as though Logan Wade said to him at shortstop there, let's just go to the plate. He sort of just gave him a direction with his glove that pointed to the plate and said, don't worry about this bloke, he's nothing to us. One run is absolutely nothing at this stage of the game. 1-1. The count on Michael Campbell. One away, runner on second. Bottom of the 8th, the Blue Sox trailing 5-0. Swing and a miss from Campbell. The count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Campbell's done a good job this game at just finding a way to get on base. Had a drop third strike
and a single.
And a single. So hopefully it can he can get paid off by the baseball gods and get himself a hit.
Just needs to find some way to get the Blue Sox going. Timms, 1-2. To the plate. Swing and a miss from Campbell. It's in the dirt again. Battaglia, who fumbles it, but he gets a handle on it and gets it to Sutherland. For a brief moment there, I thought Battaglia was going to drop it, and then it was going to be open slather to see what happens. But he gets it up to first base. They get the second out.
Got it on a string, Cam. Got it on a string.
I'm sure his heart was in his mouth for an absolute minute nanosecond when all of a sudden he went for it and it wasn't there.
Fell out of his pocket.
But he gets the job done. He gets the all-important second out for the Bandits now. Can they get the toughest out, the third out? Trent D'Antonio into the batter's box.
Backs to the wall, Blue Sox.
They're down to 4 outs to try and find a way out of this. The Blue Sox to try and take the series. The Bandits, likewise, 4 outs away from tying the series and coming away from Sydney with a pretty good result in the end. Sure, they'll be a little bit disappointed after losing game 1, 1-0, and then giving up a lead late last night in the second part of the double-header. They'll probably be disappointed with a 2-2 result heading back to Brisbane, but you've got to dip your lids to the pitches. They have been awesome all weekend for both clubs. Timms to the plate. D'Antonio lifts it into right field. Should be fairly straightforward for Lutz, who camps underneath it now. He does take the catch out there in right field, and that will retire the Blue Sox here in the 8th inning. We are done through 8 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium, where the Brisbane Bandits have a handy 5-0 lead over the Sydney Blue Sox.
And for all your printer and copier needs, speak to the professionals at Mitronics. Mitronics are Australia's largest brand independent office equipment and supplies company. Mitronics are proud to be wholly Australian owned and operated and stock all the best and most famous brands of printers and copiers. Mitronics guarantee to better any valid Australian quote, so you can be sure you're getting the best value and service when you buy or lease your chosen product from Mitronics. So jump online, check out their massive range of printers and copiers and all of the services they provide at mitronics.com.au. Mitronics are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
That they are, Harrow. We're glad to have them on board again. Mitronics, big supporters of sport in general, but baseball especially here in New South Wales.
And a big finish coming up here to this game for both clubs, Blue Sox and Bandits, as we head to the top of the 9th inning here at Blue Sox Stadium, where Sports Broadcasting Australia are presenting this broadcast for you on YouTube channel bluesox.tv. And those that are tuned in, tell your friends and family. Amy.
Jack Murphy's just changed his glove. I think he must have broken his glove, but he has made the day of a couple of kids in the crowd, because as he was coming back to the dugout, tossed it straight over to the fence into the kids, grabbed his new glove, and now he's got a new glove out there.
How good is that?
Absolutely. Those fans will just be beside themselves.
Absolutely. And, you know, from the little kids' eyes, these fellas here are heroes.
Absolutely.
They really are. They're superstars.
Just made a Jack Murphy fan for life right there.
How nice.
First pitch, top of the 9th. It is skied into shallow right field. Getting forward will be Michael Campbell. He will take it about a yard inside foul territory. Wade Dutton it was, leading things off for Brisbane, wasting no time. The Bandits want to get to the bottom part of this innings, get their 3 outs and get out of here.
2 outs from 2 pitches for Luke Wilkins right now.
Correct.
Be looking to continue that.
There was Dickie Nee again in front of our window.
So David Sutherland into the batter's box for the Bandits. He takes a big swipe at the first one. He sees 2 and comes up empty.
So Sutherland, then Battaglia.
Wilkins goes again. They play the shift on Sutherland. He hits it straight at second baseman Burns, who will come up, fire it across to Moen Aroa for the second out here in the top of the ninth. Jacob Eunice, it is the third baseman who goes out to that shallow right field position on the shift. As he heads back over to his position at third base, Wilkins might be done. Shane Barclay heading out to the mound. He's done a good job if he has. He's faced 3 batters for about 7 pitches. Seeing they might be going to bring in young Blake Cavill.
Can see a left-hander.
He's a lefty. He's a young, very young lefty.
Yes.
Only just been added to the roster. I believe he's wearing
number 70.
Jalen Ray, I think, is in 70. I think he's wearing 79 from memory for today. It looks like Blake Cavill. Want to get a close look.
Well, the crowd's all over him. They know who it is.
Just us that doesn't.
33. We've got new jerseys.
Callum.
Yeah, they're wearing different jerseys, so the numbers are a little bit out of whack.
Yeah, that's the Ladies' Day jersey that they've got in here, so a little mixed.
This was a left-handed pitcher that was added to the roster to replace Matty Ray.
Liam McCallum it is.
Liam McCallum.
Liam McCallum.
Just trying to find his stats. Can't find them at the moment.
And guess what? Listed as number 33 on the full season roster. That's because of the change recently.
That's correct. Him coming into the active lineup.
This is how recent it is. He doesn't weigh anything and he has no height at all.
He's only a 17-year-old kid, so only just been added into, as we said, the lineup.
He's a ghost. I'm just wondering if he's the Borkham Hills kid from the State League.
May well be.
Been working his way up through the ranks.
Another Australian that had been signed over to college ball, Harrow.
Yeah.
Just finding a little bit about him at the moment here. Went to Oak Hill High from Castle Hill, so yeah, I'd say he probably was one of the Borkham Hills
I
youngsters.
remember calling him under 18s and coming up for the occasional appearance in the top grade in the local state league here. And he's been on the horizon for a little while. And
his club team is the Winston Hills Club.
Okay, yeah. So he would have played grade for Borkham Hills.
Big boy, 6'2" at 17.
Yeah, club teams and the juniors in that district normally appear with Borkham.
And one pitch, he gets a comebacker straight to the mound. And how good is that for the young man's first ABL pitch? He gets the out that he needs. The Blue Sox get to the dugout with an absolute chance to get out of things here as Liam McCallum throws one pitch for one out on his ABL debut.
And
well done, young man.
He gets the out on a comeback play as well.
With all the Blue Sox players congratulating him as he comes in.
And made sure he went through the main entrance to the dugout, not the one the players go through the main entrance. And welcome to the ABL, Liam McCallum.
Well, the first person he went to see was his catcher, Jack Murphy, to get a congratulations from him. So, as you said, what a great way to start his career in the ABL.
Done good, played strong.
One pitch.
Yes.
He'll be well rested.
Leave it at that. 100% record. So, bottom of the ninth coming up here, and wow, it's going to be a finish that the Blue Sox maybe won't like. And Tim's coming back to the hill.
Well, the Blue Sox, if they have any chance whatsoever, they are at the area of the lineup that gives them the most opportunity. Jacob Eunice will lead off. Andy Burns will bat.
It's Ryan Searle.
Sue.
Change on the hill, Ryan Searle.
I was surprised that they didn't go with a 6-out save for Ryan Searle or a 6-out close for Ryan Searle.
Told you they're like brothers, didn't I? So Tim's to Searle. Searle jogging up onto the hill, getting his routine in to warm up. He's come out of the pen, ready to go.
And as we were saying last night when we were talking about Tim Atherton getting his 300 strikeouts, Ryan Searle sits second on the all-time list at 368 strikeouts. He's only 8 strikeouts behind the leader, Brian Grenning, who has retired. So I would imagine by this time the season is out, Ryan Searle will go past Brian Grenning and be the leader of strikeouts in the ABL.
So Blue Sox have a lot to do. Somebody's catching up with me on the messages. That just came through about the pitching change. Yes, we saw it.
So Ryan Searle to close things out for the Bandits. Jacob Eunice to try and get something going for the Sox. Searle, is so often is the case, just starts things off with a strike. Quality pitcher Ryan Searle. Gives nothing to the opposition. Which is what made him probably one of the better closers that the ABL has ever seen. Such control of his breaking pitches when he needs them. There is one, and Jacob Eunice will just lift it into right field. Should be no problems out there for Lutz. The wind gets it and blows it around a little bit, but Donald Lutz runs it down comfortably in right field. The Blue Sox down to 2 outs. Andy Burns will be the new batter to the box for the Blue Sox. Burns 0 for 3 this afternoon. First pitch from Searle, again in there for a called strike. Does that so well over his career, Ryan Searle, getting ahead of the hitters, then being able to just bamboozle them with a wide array of pitches that he does possess. Fastball just misses outside. Nice pitch though. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Such a relaxed pitching motion that as a hitter, the ball would come onto you a lot quicker than you're expecting it to because of the almost lack of speed that he
generates in his body. Yep.
Yeah, from his body.
It's all arm, isn't it? It's all that last minute rotation of the shoulders and the arm.
Has some real whip, absolutely.
And that's what also makes it so hard to hit his breaking pitches, because it's all shoulders and arms. You think it's coming quicker than it is. And as you say, you're gearing up for a fastball. Next minute, the bottom falls out of it and you're swinging at either his slider or his curveball. And you think, oh, there goes another one. He's got me again. And that's what he does. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So this one's going to be lined out into centre. Andy Burns is going to get a base hit. It's going to drop in front of Andrew Campbell. So whilst there's life, there's hope for the Blue Sox. They have a runner. They do trail by 5 in the bottom of the 9th, but there is a slight glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. It still may be a train, but there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm afraid it might be a train coming towards them, Cam.
It's a long, long way back, 5 in 1 inning. Boss Moanaroa steps in, seeing if he can extend things. Searle waits, fires inside. Moanaroa harbour bridges over the top of it. Moanaroa waits again now. Searle ready. They're not holding the runner at first, and no need to. They are playing their shift on Moanaroa. We've got Dutton out in the shallows of right field. Logan Wade has come across to a standard second base. David Sutherland playing tight to the line at first. Moanaroa goes after that inside breaking pitch, just fouls it back to the fence.
Martinez at shortstop.
Martinez in the shortstop hole. This is the at-bat that I would have liked to have seen Boss try something a little tricky and maybe just slap one onto the left-hand side of the diamond, not unsimilar to what David Sutherland did earlier. He's behind 1 and 2 now to Ryan Searle, who reaches back. Runner goes, it's high and outside. The Bandits couldn't care less about the runner out there at the moment. They're ahead by 5. They're looking for outs at the plate.
What that does is draw Jeremy Martinez back to
He has to be closer to third, otherwise he just gives up the bag. Yep, absolutely correct.
So that leaves more of a hole up the middle of the field for Boss.
Makes it a little bit easier for Boss to go straight back up the middle, as you said, Amy. Boss goes after that inside breaking pitch again. Again, Searle knew exactly what to throw to Moen Aroa. He knew Moen Aroa couldn't lay off those inside breaking pitches, and he gets him on strikes. Smart pitching from Ryan Searle. That will bring Gift Nagope to the plate. Will he be the final batter that the Blue Sox send to the plate this afternoon? The
Hopefully
Bandits
not.
1 out away from tying this series, going back joint leaders on top of the Northeast Division.
Pivots way back in the middle.
Searle waits, delivers fastball in there for a called strike. He has such control with that fastball, doesn't he? He can just locate it and get that called strike first time, every time, just about. 0-1 pitch. That's there for a called strike. Make it 2 on Nagope. The Blue Sox down to their last strike to try and find a miracle here on Ladies' Day at Blacktown International Sports Park. Oh-2 pitch to Nagope. Fastball lined into right field. The Blue Sox stay alive. Burns will turn the corner and the Blue Sox will get a run. The Bandits not too concerned about it, but Burns will score. Nagope will get the RBI single to right, but with 2 out, the Bandits just want 1 more out. So the Blue Sox won't go down with a 0 on the board, which is something to take out of it if nothing.
That's a very deep positive, Cam.
Got to find some positive out of everything, Harrow.
Absolutely. The glass is half full.
Michael Krause now trying to extend the game. That pitch inside from Ryan Searle. So one of the rare misses with the first pitch from Ryan Searle. One-0 pitch on its way. Breaking pitch. Misses. Just waiting on the call from home plate umpire Riley Barrington. It was close. Must have just missed a little bit low, maybe a fraction outside. Either way, it's now 2-0 for Michael Krause.
Krause managed to hold his hands on that pitch. Must have looked good coming down before it broke.
2-0 pitches low and outside, 3-0. Ryan Searle a little bit disappointed with himself on that pitch. He knew that wasn't anywhere close. Just goes for a little wander to compose himself. Krause must take the next 2 pitches. Try and get a couple of base runners up there for the Blue Sox, surely. Try and put a little bit more pressure on. He takes all the way. It is up high, ball 4. All of a sudden, Ryan Searle throwing a few more pitches than he's used to throwing in an inning. And catcher Battaglia are going to go out and have a chat about it.
Yeah, Battaglia's a very smart catcher. He knows how to read the game, as good as any you can get, and they'll be sorting it out. No problem with the signs. He's throwing where they're being put. They've had a chat, all sorted out from Battaglia.
Alex Howe to the batter's box. Wouldn't this make a few Brisbane Bandits fans nervous if Alex Howe could find a way to get aboard?
Still a long way to catch up, Cam.
Absolute.
4 runs is a lot to try and make
up. Long way. But it would make some Bandits fans a little bit nervous with Jack Murphy in the on-deck circle. Low and inside. Could be time for a Jack.
With this breeze blowing, that would be wishful.
Very difficult, especially batting left-handed, as he will. Alex Howe now ahead 1-0. Searle misses high and outside.
Ball 6 as the crowd call.
Yes.
That's 6 straight he has thrown now.
Crowd is definitely letting him know.
Ryan Searle not looking Ryan Searle like on the mound at the moment.
The crowd's back into it again.
They're asking for ball 7. Let's see what serves up. Tries the breaking pitch, gets it in there for a called strike, so at least if nothing else, you'll break up the crowd chant.
There's another positive.
2 balls and 1 strike. There are 2 out. There are 2 runners on for the Blue Sox. Alex Howard is the batter in the box. Ryan Searle's 2-1 pitch. That looks okay too. It is a called strike. Alex Howard taking it all the way. The count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out and 2 on. The deuce is wild in the bottom of the 9th. The Bandits leading at 5-1. Is this the last pitch for the Bandits to get out and tie the series at 2 apiece? 2-2 pitch on its way. And a swing and a miss from Alex Howe will bring it about. Wasn't sure if he got a little bit of bat on it, but he didn't. So Howe goes down on strikes. Ryan Searle gets another strikeout to add to the list. And the Bandits will win this one 5-1, and they will level the series 2 apiece here in Sydney.
And Sydney leave 2 runners on in that one. So during that game, the Sydney Blue Sox left 6 runners on base in total throughout that game. They got 1 run off 3 hits and left 6 stranded. And on the other side of the tally board, the Brisbane Bandits, winners of today's game, and squaring the series between Sydney and the Brisbane Bandits. Bandits getting their 5 runs off 8 hits and leaving 3 runners on base. So a good win there, very solid win for the Bandits. They got ahead throughout the game, and they really made a difference in the 8th innings where they scored 4 deep into the game. They were leading by 1 after the 7th inning. A good battle until that 7th when the breakthrough was made. Then the 8th opened it right up, and I didn't think Sydney were ever going to catch them in that regard. There just wasn't enough game time left.
No, there wasn't. Great pitching again by Travis Blackley and Ryan Zimmerman to start. They both held the game really close, and we saw a reverse of what we saw last night in that as soon as Sydney went to a pitching change, that then the Bandits were able to capitalise on that, whereas last night we saw the Blue Sox capitalise on the pitching change from the Bandits. So interesting to see that it can happen to anyone, realistically. Who do we have? I thought David Sutherland had a great game. At first base, he was absolutely solid, and in the box came through with a couple of getting on base just when they needed something. So that was really sort of pleasing to see from the veteran of one of the veterans of the team.
He's one of those the people I call Mr. Reliable. Works hard all game. Will always be there or thereabouts with everything at the plate. When he's batting, he'll know where to put a ball into play, and we saw with that long stride length on the drop third strike. Got himself safe, no problem whatsoever. He had to get there very, very quickly though.
Performance all weekend long by your pitching boys. Pretty nice to get to Sydney and get away with a 2-2 split, get back home to Holloway next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you can play a team like that in the home field and win 2 games, feel really good about ourselves. And both teams played well. Both teams pitched really well. Travis threw great today, as we saw, and just over the moon that we got that win today.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Travis, he's a quality pitcher. He's been in the big leagues. We all know that. We know what he can bring, but he really did have a quality outing on the bump for you guys.
Yeah, he threw really good last week, and I was curious how he was going to back that up, but as we saw today, he's as sharp as ever, and, that's really encouraging signs for us, and he's been doing this for a long time, so hopefully he'll continue it.
Back home to Holloway next week to face the Tuatara, who are coming off a series win over the Cavalry. Challenges ahead for them?
Yeah, look, I'll have a look at them over the next few days, but I know they have a lot of good pieces over there, so I expect them to be pretty tough on us up in Brisbane.
Yeah, I know they're starting to hit the ball well, which will be a bonus for them up there at Holloway, but you guys have got to be really pleased with coming to Sydney, getting those 2 games and getting the hell out of here with a divisional lead, tied on top and getting home to Holloway.
Yeah, no, you've hit it right on the head. Over the moon, really pleased with the outcome of this weekend, and gives us a bit of momentum going into next week. And we know Auckland are going to be really tough.
Congratulations on the series split, and happy birthday for next Saturday night. I know we've touched on that, but enjoy it up there at Holloway and have a party on Saturday night.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. We'll throw it back up to you. The Brisbane boys need to get on a bus and get out of here, so we'll throw it back up to you, Harrow, to wrap things up.
And welcome back. Thanks, Cam. Of course, we cut over very quickly. Cam was able to get the manager of the Brisbane Bandits, Dave Nilsson, very early and very quickly after the finish of that game. We appreciate David's time. And, of course, he's the Australian manager and coach as well of the senior team. So they've been getting great results. Brisbane Bandits getting great results this weekend, squaring the series with the Blue Sox. And that's probably fitting that it got all tied up at the end of the series because they're two great teams. And it was a pleasure to be here broadcasting it. And Cam's working his way up now. Big Cam running down there and getting all of that work. And, of course, Oscar on the camera up there on the third base side doing that little bit of tracking and everything else. We're going to thank everybody very, very shortly. I'm not sure if Cam's looking for another interview or not. I don't think so. He'll be coming upstairs. Yes, he will. And this game ends up with a big 5-1 win to the Brisbane Bandits, as I said, to square the series. That will make the standings on the ABL table very, very close. And we've had good results from all around the competition today and over the last 4 days. And, of course, next weekend is another round. The Blue Sox are away for a couple of weeks. As Cam mentioned earlier, we will be back to broadcast for the Blue Sox on the 27th of December. It's a big 4 days of baseball, and that's the day after Boxing Day. So you get Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and get everything locked up there. We'll come back, and that will be a momentous series as well. It will be Perth Heat against the Sydney Blue Sox right here at Blue Sox Stadium, Blacktown International Sports Park. So that's going to be a big series. And at that stage of the season, that will be around about round 5, round 6. That will be. So it's after halfway mark of the season. And that's when it's going to make a difference. That series between Perth and Sydney in the Christmas break, as we call it, will be one of the most important series that Sydney will play throughout the season to get their runs on the board. And that will be after they've seen Canberra next week, I believe, and Auckland after that, away. And in Auckland, they're 7 innings games when you're away to the Auckland Tuatara. So that could be just the preparation that Sydney need before coming back home to have a look at Perth.
And just before we go too much further, Harry, we did have a chance to have a chat to Boss Mo and Aroa before the game, so we will roll that interview. Owen's got it queued up, ready to go over there, so we'll put that on and just show you the chat we had with Boss Mo and Aroa before the game started today. And due to those little internet problems we had, we couldn't quite get it on air before the game. But here's the interview we did with Boss Mo and Aroa pre-game. And welcome to Blue Sox TV on Ladies' Day here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where we celebrate all things women in baseball, whether it be the scorers, female umpires, female baseball players, or just your mum who always picked you up and always got you to the ball game on time. All things pink today. You see me in last year's ladies' shirts. We've got Amy, who will be on camera in a moment. She's in this year's ladies' shirts. They are on sale here at the ballpark. The hats are the new range of our pink foundation hats. Of course, are all of the profits going to the McGrath Foundation. All of the players' jerseys will in fact be auctioned off and signed after the game. So something to look forward to. Get on to sydneybluesox.com.au and have a look for the actual game-worn jerseys from the players signed after the game. Of course, as we said, with the profits going to the McGrath Foundation. So on to last night's game. There was a double-header. The first game, an absolute pitcher's duel, a beauty thrown by Corby on the mound for the Bandits. Josh Guy went for the Blue Sox, went as hard as he could. 1-0, the Blue Sox went down. We get to game 2 of the doubleheader, and the Blue Sox are down 3-0 in trouble. They get it back to 3-1. They're working hard. They start to threaten Tim Atherton throwing a beauty on the mound. All of a sudden, the Blue Sox get to Tim Atherton. He gets replaced by Ryan Bollinger, and the Blue Sox come alive. It's 3-3, and we're getting to the bottom of the 9th, and we have a chat to the man in the middle for the Blue Sox, Boss Mo and Aroa. Boss, welcome back to the Blue Sox, mate. Nice to have you back. How is it being back here in blue, back at Sydney?
It's a lot easier, especially travel-wise. I mean, especially the two kids and stuff, but fitting in well. I played with most of these blokes for years before I went to Canberra.
Tell the folks about the travel, etc., especially like from where you were to get to Canberra and now where you are to get to Sydney.
Yeah, so I live in Newcastle, so it was an extra couple of hours from here to get to Canberra. So I would basically finish work at 11, drive straight down to Canberra, straight on the field, and and that's about it, really.
Yeah, so that's some of the dramas that the amateur baseball players here in Australia have to go past. Amy's got a question for Boss.
Can you take us through your game-winning hit last night?
I mean, like D'Antonio started off with that walk. That was massive for us. Then, sort of just rolled on from there. From the start of the game, we started off really slow, especially in the first game as well, where we went down 1-0. We just couldn't get anything going. Then, obviously, Murphy come up with that big hit to tie it up. Then, to me, it didn't feel like we were out of the game at all. And especially the team that we have, we just got it done. And, I just went up there, just tried to get a pitch over the plate, and I got that pitch and put a good swing on it.
It was very exciting baseball to watch.
It was a fantastic hit. They didn't shift on you for a change, which is a bit unusual. I don't know that would have made a difference anyway, but have you been practicing any little sort of, little lay-downs to the third base line to keep everybody off balance?
I haven't, no, but I can pull it out whenever I want to. But nah, for me, I just see it like they're shifting. For me, it's sort of a game inside of a game. I try and beat the shift every time I'm up there.
Well, mate, you're a power hitter, mate, so it's maybe pointless you laying down a bunt because if you get onto one, there's no ballpark in this country that's going to contain it. We know that. We saw you put one out last week against the Giants, so maybe with the conditions a little bit different today and a little bit more hitter-friendly, you may be able to get one today for us.
I might close the eyes and see what happens.
Thanks very much for your time, Boss Mo and Aroa. Blue Sox TV, we're coming up with Game 4 of the series. The Blue Sox looking to take the series 3-1 over the Bandits and consolidate their place on top of the North East Division. Coming up shortly here on Blue Sox TV.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. There's the interview with Boss Mo and Aroa that took place before this Game 4 here this afternoon. And very quickly, finally, just before we go, I've got questions for Amy Collins, the newest member of the Blue Crew for Sports Broadcasting Australia. Amy, how did you enjoy your first two series of baseball broadcasting here in the commentary box from the Skybox?
I've absolutely loved it. It's been a really different take on the game. The Skybox is a fantastic position to watch the game because you can see everything working. So it's been great to be able to share my thoughts, especially on pitching, as I am a pitcher. So I have lots of knowledge and lots of thoughts on pitching that I'm happy to be able to share with everyone watching along at home. So it's been a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately, I will miss the next two series as I'm getting married next Saturday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go, boys. She's off the market.
But I shall be back as soon as I can to come back and sit down and have a chat about baseball.
Good on you. Thanks very much, Amy, and congratulations on your upcoming wedding. Have a wonderful holiday after that called a honeymoon.
Yes.
And we welcome you back with open arms when you come back. The feedback we've had, as you know, has been sensational. Great move. We're really glad to have you as part of our crew, part of the team, as we might say. And with that and those final few words, we're going to wrap it up here from Blacktown International Sports Park in the west of Sydney. You've been watching the summer of baseball from Sports Broadcasting Australia, the Blue Crew, Big Cam, Amy Collins, our newest member, our technical guys in background doing all the hard yards, Owen and Oscar Talauta. Fantastic guys. Wonderful to have you as part of our team as well. They're also our newest members, our technical crew, and absolutely great outcome. And guess what? For the Perth series, we've got even more tricks up our sleeve. We look forward to you viewing next time, December 27th. That's only if you can't get to the park. If you can get to the ballpark out here in Sydney at 7:30 for a 7:30 first pitch on the 27th of December, then please do so. Get your backside, trackside, and if you can't do that, then jump in your lounge chair and watch us on youtube.tv Blue Sox Baseball. So YouTube channel bluesox.tv, I should say, and tune that in. You can get it via the Blue Sox website as well. Get tickets from the Sydney Blue Sox website. But tune in or get out here and get a game in live. It's very, very exciting. It's a great atmosphere. And that next series is against the Perth Heat, so it will be an extra tantalising series for the Sox. So on behalf of Big Cam Hicks and Amy Collins, I'm Paul Harradine. You've been listening to and watching Blue Sox TV, brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. The Summer of Baseball Blue Crew team. Have a wonderful Christmas. We won't see you before then. You won't see us. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. And until the 27th, thanks once again and bye for now.
Bye.
Have a Merry Christmas and a safe holidays, people. See you before the new year.